be junior high, but I think it was more like elementary school. They'd take you outside for a class when it was like really nice and comfortable out. Today would be like an outside class day.
There you go.
Like, that was fun. Like, you go sit on the grass and have class.
Just be chilling.
Different.
Yeah.
So today would be one of those days, just a beautiful day. We got a great weather week, it looks like, here in Jacksonville. I was surprised a little bit by some of the rain yesterday, but it didn't last long, at least where I was. So that's nice. We got a big show lined up once again today. Mark Berman, by the way, from PXG Women's Match Play Championships, coming up in its second year, will join us at 3:30. And then at 4 o'clock, Blake Bortles scheduled to join us. Tried to chase Blake down since he retired, and we appreciate the help getting Blake on. Blake will join us in the 4 o'clock hour. Look forward to catching up with the boat. The boat sails again here on ESPN 690. Should be fun to catch up with Bortles. There are some stories circulating around the NFL, one that includes the Denver Broncos still stink. Russell Wilson still stinks. Now he's got a hamstring injury, and could that hamper him over these next few weeks? Have you seen the latest on that, Casey? Did I see something that he could miss the Jags game in London, the way this shakes out? And I'm not sure I want that to happen.
Yeah, it looks like there's some speculation on that one, so I don't know if I believe it. I think it's every time that Russ has a bad game, now all of a sudden he's hurt. So we'll see we'll see how that one plays out. But, yeah, that's out there in the social media world. We'll have to see. But I think he'll be out there.
I mean, Russell Wilson, I'm waiting for it to end. And then in the first quarter yesterday, what was it, like 10 for 10 for $160? And the rest of the game, it was nothing. Like, I thought the numbers were fake. They were real. It was 3 for 11 in the second half for 15 yards.
It was real.
I mean, that's unbelievable. And actually, if you look at the overtime and the late game situations, probably more overtime, I thought it was just amazing how much they put the ball in Justin Herbert's hands all the time. And he's banged up. And Denver's defense was getting after all of them anyway. But they put it in his hands all the time. And meanwhile, Denver was like, yeah, we're going to run a couple times and then see if you can get it on 3rd and 5. I mean, that's what you do when you don't have faith in your quarterback. Russell Wilson has been a guy that you put the ball in his hands all the time in Seattle. There's just certain guys, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, like right now. You're not going to do that with Trevor Lawrence. That's not ideal right this moment. You hope he gets to a point. And then there are some quarterbacks you'll never do it with. Daniel Jones, they're making him throw, 27 times a game, and that's it. And anything over that, they probably feel like it's uh-oh time. So, but isn't that astonishing to you, the way they used Russell Wilson? Hey, we need to go win a football game, so let's run it into the teeth of a Chargers defense that's been slowing us down most of the day, and then we'll see if Russ can get us like 3rd and 6. That shocked me that they wouldn't put it in his hands late. And by the way, this comes on the heels of earlier in the season, remember, taking out of Russell's hands on a big down, which now actually looks like decision by Hackett was the right one, because anytime Russell has it in his hand, for the most part, not good things happen, Casey.
Yeah, I don't want to say Pete Carroll was right, but he was actually right on the money. Yeah, I mean, I think it's weird how they've done things, especially without Javonte Williams, right? You're going to run the ball more when your best running back is on IR. And Melvin Gordon's just like all pro on the stand in their team most of the game on the sideline. So it's the debt thing is very confusing. I don't get it. Nathaniel Hackett, hold on for dear life, because I don't know if you're going to be there at the end of the season the way this thing's going. But the whole dynamic of what's going on in Denver is very, very odd. I just can't really wrap my head around it because they have good players. I can't imagine Russ is actually this bad, but I guess he is. They don't like it. I think Denver's like the biggest dumpster fire going right now, and that's a league with Detroit and Jacksonville in it. And the Jets.
Yeah, I wouldn't call the Jags. Yeah, I don't think all of those. I don't think you would say are dumpster fires. But
I'm saying the past 20 years, the NFL.
Yeah. Denver is a legit dumpster fire looking deal right now. And the crazy thing is their defense is elite. Like their defense is really good.
Very good. Yeah.
The defense is Dallas Cowboy good, and they've been excellent. They must be like swearing across the room, right now. And that you try to avoid that, but it's got to feel that way because they are doing everything in their power to give the offense a chance to win, and they just can't do it. And it looked like it might happen for them yesterday, and it just still couldn't. They just couldn't do it. I mean, they had a kicker who really busted his leg, kicked 4 field goals, and the Broncos still couldn't get more than that. So it's pretty wild to see. And I will say this, and again, I'm a big Nathaniel Hackett fan. I like Hackett a lot, but he looks so uncomfortable. He looks uncomfortable in the postgame. He looks uncomfortable in the halftime interview. He looks uncomfortable on the sideline. I'm a little surprised at how uncomfortable he looks, to the point where it's making me uncomfortable watching him. I don't give a lot of, I guess, thought to a guy in his first year being fired in his first year. Of course, it did happen here with Urban. It's happened in other places. I think Wilkes was the guy who's now coaching at Carolina. I think that happened with Arizona. Then they hired Kingsbury. So, I mean, it's happened, but I don't feel like that ever is going to happen unless something goes crazy wrong like Urban. And we might be looking at a situation where this thing never gets figured out in Denver, and they're like, well, this isn't working. We got to go in a different direction. I mean, it could be that bad in Denver. We're a third of the way through the season, man. And I know Troy Aikman was stuck on this yesterday. It's like they had 11 days to prepare. I don't know how much of a difference that makes, but they did have extra time to prepare, and they still looked all out of sorts. When are they going to get it right? And I don't know if there is an answer to that in a positive way for the Denver Broncos. It is the biggest surprise of the season, right, by far in the NFL. Like, even with the Jets and I guess the Giants in a positive way, or could be they're probably the biggest surprise. But even with the success stories there, even Atlanta and what they've been able to do, and I got to believe this Denver story, everybody thought they'd be good. How many people picked Denver to go to the Super Bowl?
A few. I picked them to win the division.
Yeah. I mean, that kind of good. We got to remind ourselves that's what people thought they could be. Their receiving core is, I mean, I know they're beat up a little bit in spots. They're doing.
They're better than
doing?
They're better than
What are they doing? I mean, even Aikman did say, yes, he's like, they're not even open.
Well, that is a problem too.
So, I mean, I doubt it's all Russ's fault. I think a lot of it's his fault. He's got no mojo. There's no confidence. But it's just a wild thing to see. I mean, they paid the guy $240 million, 236, whatever it was. I mean, this could be like a catastrophic mistake.
Yeah, no, at this point in time, it's looking that way because I don't understand how they're this bad. Like, again, there's a lot of things at play here, though. Like, I'm not convinced that Russell Wilson is good anymore, or without Pete Carroll, however you want to finish that sentence, because it looks that bad. Now, it might be the coaching, in fairness, and the coaching's definitely bad too. But, like, the whole thing in Denver is just not good, Brent. It's not good at all.
Is this just an over-dramatization to say,
Probably.
like, Russell Wilson could be the biggest mistake in NFL history? You all the stuff you sent to Seattle for him, and then you pony up $236 million? And if you know, like, 6 games in that might have been bad, like, listen, Ryan Leaf's a big mistake, right? There are busts that happen in the draft. You don't spend that kind of money, and you don't spend that kind of capital to get him. Now, Russell Wilson, if this keeps up, might be the biggest mistake in NFL history for the Broncos.
Yeah, I actually kind of agree with that because of the money now, right? The draft picks are one thing, but the money that you paid him now is a problem as well, and it's nobody's taking that. I maybe like a Carolina is always taking chances on quarterbacks, so maybe, but like they might be stuck in a really, really, really bad situation and might have to look at multiple coaches, but the one thing you're not going to be able to change is the quarterback. So yeah, if he's really not good, and again, 6 weeks in, okay, but it looks horrible. And if it's going to look this horrible for another 6 weeks, a whole season maybe, there's nothing to do, like you're stuck. But yeah, it might be one of the worst mistakes ever made.
Yeah, I don't. And by the way, I didn't see it coming.
No.
Didn't see this coming at all. I think Russell Wilson's been a good quarterback. I think he is one of the top quarterbacks that's played over the last 7-8 years, year in, year out. I didn't think he was a problem. So maybe he still has some of that left. But he's got that look in his eyes like, whoa, what's going on? And he can say everything he wants to say, and he's like a very nice guy, and he takes the high road. But he looks lost, and I think he's lost all the confidence. Like, that's a guy playing without confidence. You can tell it on the field. You can see it in the postgame. You can see it on the sideline. He's like eyes wide open right now, deer in the headlights look like this is Blaine Gabbert back in 2011.
Yeah.
I mean, really, you can tell some guys when guys are shell-shocked. And Russell Wilson, almost a decade into his career, looks shell-shocked right now.
He really does.
Didn't see that coming, and you don't usually see that from a veteran guy. Like who? We always talk about guys that have maybe not performed as well, but then turned it on. Rich Gannon's this great example of he really played well toward the end of his career. He's like the poster child for that. and picked it up late, where he actually got into a nice groove and was a good quality quarterback. Alex Smith is one of those examples, right? For, hey, 7 years, didn't work out, 7 different coordinators, and then boom, got going in Kansas City. And if he doesn't suffer the injury, you actually felt pretty good about Alex Smith, the way he was playing football. So we have some of those stories, but I'm not sure I remember many stories. In a world where sports does go fast, like when you lose it, it goes. But at the quarterback position, have we seen a guy that's done so much fall off the cliff like this? And again, it's a 6-game sample. I understand that. He's playing hurt. He's got all the new stuff. I mean, it might not be the end. But if it is bad, and we're playing this game right now as he could be the biggest mistake in NFL history, have we seen another quarterback do that, just fall off the map with his resume?
No. I mean, no, I don't think so. I mean, not with his resume, right? Baker Mayfield got bad quickly. I mean,
he did.
But he was never at that caliber. So, yeah, I think that's interesting. But it comes back to the point of where, you know, Russell Wilson, it's not like he was a first-round pick. Maybe he went into the right situation. And maybe Pete Carroll and the coaching staff they had there is the reason he's good. And I know that's something that we haven't at least believed in his career to this point. But now that might be showing itself because late-round draft pick, got coached up, got put in a perfect situation. They ran the ball a lot, and maybe that's just what he is. And now when they're asking him to do everything, he gets exposed. And then to your point, coming back to why are they running the ball at the end of the game? Well, because Russ might not be able to do what they thought he was going to be able to do.
So do you think he figures it out?
No. Well, again, I know it's not Overreaction Monday, but, I have no confidence in that. It just doesn't look right. Coach, quarterback, I know we're specifically talking about Russ, but I don't see it, Brent. I think it's a really bad situation in Denver.
Yeah, I did too.
I got no faith.
And again, you're talking about a defense that is, what are they, 1 or 2 in the league right now? I mean, they have that kind of defense, and if they didn't, it would look a lot worse.
Oh, yes.
And this is one of the, I was thinking of this last night a little bit, and I always think of Josh Scobie and our buddy Josh in this vein. It didn't go well for him in Pittsburgh. Obviously, he's beloved here in Jacksonville. He had a great career. It didn't go well in Pittsburgh for Josh. But part of the reason it didn't go well and it ended quickly and it just built on itself was, and I forget the timing of it, but Scobie went to Pittsburgh on a Sunday. Basically, they traded him or something. Sunday night, boom, off to the airport. He's playing, I think, on Thursday night football.
Yeah.
And then he plays again on either the following Thursday or the following Sunday or the following Monday or whatever. And he's not doing well for those 10 days. But he's doing all that on a nationally televised game. And when everybody's watching, and it's the only thing in town, the only thing to talk about. And that's how all the Snoop Dogg stuff happened, everything. So it was this perfect storm of bad circumstances. Well, look what's happening to Nathaniel Hackett and Russell Wilson in the struggling Denver offense. They can't do it under the guise of a Sunday afternoon 1 o'clock game. They've been freaking on national TV in primetime games every game, which we're all now want to sign a petition to get them off.
Please. I never want to watch them play again or listen.
And so I don't think that helps the cause. What it does is it builds this my goodness, this wave of criticism. This wave of, they're talking about it on Scott Van Pelt last night, talking about it on the postgame show on Amazon, they're talking about it on NFL Network, they're talking about it again this morning on Good Morning Football, every show on ESPN all day. You don't do that if you play on Sundays. They talk about you, but they talk about you for a segment, they build it into the show, and then on, by Tuesday they're on to something else because something always happens in the NFL.
Yeah.
But that's not the case with these games. The story each one of these games is not really even who won. Sure, Dustin Hopkins gets interviewed after for a couple minutes. But then it goes right back to Russ and Hackett and all this. And so these guys have to compete against the wave. And that is not an easy thing to do. And I think it's adding to it. I mean, heck, maybe the best thing is for them to go to London and play at 9:30 in the morning in a couple weeks.
It don't matter.
So it'll be pretty interesting. The story is it's a hamstring. I mean, that's how we got on the Russ topic, but we'll see if he plays against the
Jags.
Jags.
Buy it.
But, yeah, I mean, I don't know if it matters. That's not a headline to me if he doesn't play. I'm more scared of who's his backup.
No clue.
Yeah, I don't know. But I don't know. I almost want Russ to play right now.
Yeah.
I mean, they're out of sync, man. I will say this about that. That Denver defense is going to be a beast for the Jags.
No, it will. That's true.
That's going to be a beast.
I mean, they've given every team they've played problems. By the way, backup is Brett Ripien.
Yeah. Where was he? Was he a Boise State guy? Nah, it doesn't sound right.
Are you sure? What's your final answer?
Is it Boise State?
It is Boise State.
Yeah. All right. There we go.
Nice.
Nice pull. They were good.
Nice pull, he says to himself.
Yeah, it was. Well, it was a good pull, man.
Heads up on his back. He's really patting.
I didn't change my mind, so it was a good pull. The Jags actually have a tough couple weeks from a defensive standpoint. The Giants' front is good, and the Denver defense is really good. This is a big couple weeks for the Jags. They're going to have to play a pretty physical brand. They're going to get hit quite a bit, Trevor Lawrence, and he's going to be hurried and pressured. Even good offensive lines, these guys can do a number on. So the running game will be critical. Obviously, holding on to the football, making good decisions. Because really, if one of the – obviously, Trevor had the bad 4-fumble game, and you just hope that's an anomaly, and I think it was. He had the bad moment against Houston. But turnovers have not been outside of those two moments, right? Turnovers have not been a constant week-to-week thing. The one thing that has kind of crept back into it a little bit for Trevor, we saw it the other day. We saw it in Washington. When he gets pressured, is he making the right decisions to either just take the sack or is he trying too hard to do too much to get out of it? Cost him field goal range the other day. Did the same thing with the intentional groundings against Washington. And so, that's what probably scares me a little bit because you're going to be under pressure. So how do you react to it? Just take the sack or throw it away. And that's going to be the case, I think, this week against the Giants and Denver. Those are two really good fronts. And the Jags are going to have to do a fantastic job. They'll have to make smart decisions for Trevor. And they'll have to, I think, run the ball a lot to be able to just at least keep them at bay. But I think it'll be an interesting couple of weeks for this offense for the Jacksonville Jaguars going against two pretty good defenses, Casey.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult. I agree with you there. And it just comes back to, I guess, your point about Trevor, and the point that I try to make is where's the consistency, right? Can he continue the consistency that he had last week? Now, it's going to be tougher. He's going to be under siege a little bit more. He's going to have to make plays because the fronts on these teams are going to be very good. The decision-making, it's going to have to be on point. But at least the exciting part of that is you're not working against great offenses with those great defenses. So you bust one, ETN breaks one loose, you're right in it still. So you keep it manageable. You don't make the big mistake, and you're probably still in a pretty good spot because the Giants are good, and I believe that to be true, but they're good because of their defense and Saquon Barkley. So if you can keep it, tidy on the other side, which might now be more of a problem than we thought, I think Trevor will be okay. The problem is both those things have to work together, which they haven't done in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, and I'll be interested to see the game plan because what has worked for Trevor is getting the ball out of his hands, right, and the quick game stuff, and his Indianapolis games have been terrific. The Chargers game was pretty good. It wasn't just that in the Chargers game, but that was good for him from a consistency standpoint for the most part. Then Houston, you actually had a lot of good moments, but also some big-time not-so-good moments. And Philly, you can just kind of throw out. There wasn't a lot really to like in that game. And I think Washington even had more of a mixed bag than Houston. Houston, you'll go back and people will say, hey, there were some really good throws. A lot of people think even from a national standpoint, the drops in that game were more harmful than Trevor's arm. And outside of the 2nd and 1 play. And so where does he –
Only Stingley would have dropped it.
Yeah, true. Where does he go now, right? That's a good – he comes off another good performance. But sooner or later, you're going to have to play better than just against Indianapolis. And these are, again, big boy fronts. This is – Philadelphia was a real good front, too. Again, the game was so hard to depict what was really real because of all the weather and all the problems they end up having. This will be well-earned, whatever they get on the offensive side. And can they handle it? Can the whole front handle it? Can the Jags handle it? Can Trevor handle it? I think it's going to be the biggest, probably back-to-back test they have from a defensive standpoint, what their offense is facing maybe this year. I mean, you go through their schedule. I don't see anybody else jumping out like these two. So massive stretch and also a lot of pressure, like you just said, on the Jags defense to get it right, get it corrected, because – there are going to be some defensive struggles in games where you got to go win 23-20 or 20-17. I mean, the Chargers were able to do it. Herbert threw 7 times, didn't throw a touchdown. They only scored 19 points. So that's what kind of defense we're talking about the Jags are going to face in a couple of weeks in London. And the Giants maybe haven't been as strong as that, but they're pretty good. Interested to watch how this plays out for the Jacksonville Jaguars over the next couple of weeks from an offensive perspective. Meanwhile, in Jacksonville, all we're talking about is how do you fix a defense? How do you fix a defense? Well, they're going to have to fix that, too, because they got Saquon Barkley coming to town. As for Denver, you might just be able to throw anybody out there, and they'll score 13 points. That's what it looks like right now against Denver. But we said that about the Colts, and they scored 34. Maybe we should learn our lesson.
Can't do it.
Hey, 4 o'clock hour, we've got Blake Bortles jumping in the show here. Brent Friends on ESPN 690. So we're going to talk a lot of football today. Talk a little bit about the college ranks as well. What else is going around the NFL? We dive hard into the Jags in a couple of different areas as well. It's all coming up. We're live from Davoli's House of Cards on a Tuesday until 6 o'clock down here in St. Johns County. Come on out. Say hello. Play fantasy card breaks with us. Get in the money. Get in the game. We'll be back on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Breezy and cooler today with a mix of clouds and sun and highs in the 70s. Quite chilly tonight near record lows in the mid-40s. And then a mostly sunny, breezy, and cool Wednesday. Highs tomorrow only in the upper 60s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. Join me today beginning at 5 p.m. on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. Save thousands on buy one, get one on wedding bands now through October 23rd.
On Friday, October 21st, AEW Rampage returns to Daly's Place for the last time in 2022.
We're live at Daly's Place in Jacksonville, home of the Jags.
Experience what All Elite Wrestling is all about, live and in person.
Oh, my God!
It's MJF.
I'm better than you.
And you know it!
Saraya.
I am the revolution!
John Moxley.
You better step up or get stepped on.
Bryan Danielson. Claudio Castagnoli. Dr. Britt Baker. DMD.
I'll fight all of you right now!
Orange Cassidy. The Acclaim.
Everyone! The Acclaim!
Swerve in Our Glory. Hook. Hangman Adam Page.
Hangman's in the house!
Jade. FTR.
Top guys out.
Tony Storm. Wardlow. Darby Allin. Chris Jericho. And the Jericho Appreciation Society.
And that's entertainment.
And many more will be there live. Don't miss AEW Live at Daly's Place. Tickets are on sale now and start at $20 plus fees. Go to AEWTIX.com right now. Card subject to change.
Winning is in the cards at Best Bet St. Augustine, the only card room and sports bar in St. Augustine, Florida. With nonstop action, poker games of all limits, and a sports bar, Best Bet St. Augustine has you covered. Play in the $60 no-limit hold'em tournaments on Wednesdays and Thursdays. Or try our game tables like 1-card poker, 3-card poker, and Ultimate Texas Hold'em. You can also watch your favorite football games with the NFL Sunday Ticket at our sports bar. Visit Best Bet St. Augustine, located at 800 Marketplace Drive in St. Augustine, Florida.
Buying or leasing a car in Jacksonville is the best with Fields Auto Group, Jacksonville's luxury auto group. Lexus of Jacksonville and Orange Park, Mercedes-Benz of Jacksonville, Orange Park, Jaguar Land Rover, Jacksonville, Porsche, Jacksonville, Fields Cadillac, Jacksonville, and St. Augustine. If the luxury car you want isn't in stock, Fields Auto Group will order it. And at Fields, you'll never be charged over sticker price. Stop by a Fields store today and see what world-class service really means. Fields is a proud sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Fields Auto Group, fieldsauto.com.
It's peak season at Fanatics and we are hiring. Come work for a great local company you already love. Starting pay is $16 per hour. All Fanatics new hires start with 20 hours of unpaid time off, a 40% employee discount, and can contribute to their 401k. Based on company needs, new hires have a chance to be permanent employees with more benefits after peak season. All you have to do to apply is text FAN to 89743. That's FAN to 89743. Did you write that down? Apply by texting FAN to 89743. Fanatics is an equal opportunity employer.
Is your digital marketing strategy keeping you up at night? Do you have more questions than answers? CMG Local Solutions can help you take all the guesswork out of digital marketing. Let CMG Local Solutions create the best marketing plan for your global, regional, or local business. CMG Local Solutions has the right tools to fit your business's marketing needs.
Learn more at cmglocalsolutions.com/Jacksonville. That's cmglocalsolutions.com/Jacksonville.
Children's Home Society of Florida's 38th annual Caring Chefs is back. Join us Sunday, October 23rd at the Glass Factory and try samples from the First Coast finest chefs, sommeliers, and craft brewers, all for a good cause. Buy tickets today at chsfl.org/chefs.
Oh boy, Buddy, the Buddy Holly story is back and it's better than ever. This show will have you dancing in the aisles. Don't miss Buddy.
Tomorrow at the Florida Theater. Tickets on sale at floridatheater.com.
Finding the right Medicare plan? Oof, no easy feat. Kind of like those dances my granddaughter loves making me do. But then I found Walgreens FindRx coverage. Lets you compare plans online, over the phone, or in person. Made Medicare shopping so easy. Plus, I found plans with low-cost copays. I can get down with that. When you need to talk Medicare, Walgreens is here. Start shopping today at walgreens.com/Medicare.
Chest up, engage your core.
At Misty's gym, boot camp gets pretty close to the real thing. She wants to spot a personal trainer with a military background.
I can cover this week's boot camp, but we need someone stacked. Isn't your cousin a Marine?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
It's the Blitz Scoreboard Show every Friday night at 9 p.m. on ESPN 690. Join Brent Martineau, Casey Kurtz, and the Hall of Famer Kevin Sullivan for scores, analysis, interviews, and live video of games on the ESPN 690 social media platforms.
The reality is it's just not good. That's not good enough. We got to be better. We got to be better. We got to play sharper. We got to find ways to make plays. Got to find ways to continue to get first downs, touchdowns. It's a good football team out there, but we're just as good, if not better, and we feel like. And we got to answer the call. It's adversity is definitely challenging us right now. But the only way I know through it all is just continue to work hard and continue to believe. I think felt like we should have won that game tonight, and so we got to look at the film and see what we can do better.
They threw up all the highlights of his 3 highlights in the background there. All 3 things he did right.
That's Russell Wilson. Tough time right now in Russell Wilson's career. He's had a nice career, but this is big-time adversity right now for Russ. Brent Martineau back here at the Bullies House of Cards. Brent Friends on ESPN 690. Casey Kurtz back in the Action Sports Shack studios. Aaron Schachter, he'll be back with us later in the week. And, again, we've got Blake Bortles coming up at the 4 o'clock hour, scheduled to join us in the 4 o'clock hour. We always say scheduled, but we are planning on it with Blake Bortles, so looking forward to that conversation. We got football at 5. We'll talk a lot of football. Overtime with Kurtz and Middleton. After that at 6 o'clock, and then ESPN programming beyond that. As we've got a busy couple of weeks, it's really stacking up right now, at least behind the scenes, as we've got Florida, Georgia, Florida. I think it is technically Georgia, Florida this year, and I don't have a dog in the fight. Get it? Or a gator in the fight, and I don't care which one it's called. But we've got a busy couple of weeks, so it should be a lot of fun. Amazon and the NFL announced this game on Black Friday. Talk about smart marketing. We'll talk about that coming up in a little bit. The Yankees and Guardians play tonight, and the Guardians might still be looking for a hotel in the Bronx.
Slept in the dugout.
It sounds like. Should have just slept in the dugout. And Major League Baseball getting a lot of grief for why didn't they call that game earlier? And did they earn it? Well, who knows. But maybe if they called it earlier, the Guardians would have been able to find a hotel. And I wonder how much of a disadvantage that is going into this game. All right, let's go with the phone right now. And in a couple of weeks, November 1st, it's on the horizon now. PXG Women's Match Play Championship back down at World Golf Village for a second straight year. And the founder, the executive director, the president, the owner, the everything of it, Mark Berman, joins us now on ESPN 690. What's happening, man? You guys looking forward to another good event? I bet you wish you get a weather week like we're having right now.
I'll tell you what, if we could lock in this weather, we would have them all stay for the rest of the winter.
Yeah,
this is phenomenal.
Hey, give us the difference of last year to this year. Probably, you do some different things, or you just build off it. The field looks good. Tell us some of the enhancements that you guys have found, or maybe even they're just very subtle things going into year 2 of this event.
I mean, yeah, we got a lot of new stuff. Last year, if you remember, we did this was a 12-day tournament, right? We put our players through the ringer. I think Jessica Porbaznik, who was our winner last year, 3-time All-American at Ohio State, by the way, she played 285 holes from start to finish. We put them through 3 days of stroke play, and we had 64 players in the whole thing. 3 days of stroke play, went into our battle rounds, 2 days of battle rounds, 54 holes over 2 days, and then go into the match play with the Sweet 16. This year, we're toning it down a little bit, just making it kind of a more traditional 1-week event. So 2 days of stroke play goes into 1 day of our battle rounds, and that goes into the Sweet 16 of match play. I think the biggest thing, Brent, this year, most exciting thing for the girls is they actually get to play in the weekend. And this level of professional women's golf doesn't always get to play in the weekend. In fact, they're usually kind of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So to be playing match play on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, wrapping it up on a Sunday afternoon under the spire of the Hall of Fame is getting them really excited.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And it's funny, those little things, right? You wouldn't think are a big deal, or maybe just the average person wouldn't think of a big deal. Play, and you play in to win and all those things. But it does add a little nice wrinkle to it, right? Kind of feels maybe this even more level of importance, almost like playing underneath the lights if you're in any other event.
Yeah, no, that's really what it is, right? Like, playing on a weekend for, again, this is like AA, maybe AA plus ball. We get a lot of players that go back and forth from, to AAA, which is the Epson Tour. And we've got a lot of players this year who have a lot of LPGA starts as well. So it's a little bit of a convoluted deal, but as far as the level goes. But again, they don't get to play on weekends very often, and they feel the elevation of that event. They feel the importance. They feel the respect of a women's tour at this level, getting to play in a weekend at a resort and at a golf course, championship level course like Slammer and Squire. And that's part of our, it's part of our mission here. It's part of our message is elevating the women's game and shining a light on these players who honestly will be the next LPGA Tour players. So let's shine that light brightly on them and treat them like the amazing women athletes that they are and professional athletes that they are who've worked their entire lives to get to this point.
I feel like Mark Berman with us here on ESPN 690. I feel like women's golf got enhanced a little bit over the last year or two with the Olympics and just maybe some of the rising star power of the United States women's golfer anyway. Do I have that correct? Do you feel that? Like, you know the game and you know that world better than me, but I feel like the lift there was pretty good.
Yeah, it's you're 100% feeling it correctly, right? So the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years, we're seeing this explosion of women's golf talent, particularly American women's golf talent, coming out of college, and that goes back to 10, 15 years ago when the industry said, hey, let's make more junior golfers, right? Let's create more golfers. Programs like the First Tee, LPGA Golf, junior programs, junior tours popping up all over the place. So the good residual of that is 40% of those players were girls who are now young women. We've talked about my daughter and a lot of the local players here, and they're the beneficiaries of kind of that growth, that explosion, and now they're all coming out of college. And, like we've talked about, we're creating a place for them to play and continue to develop. But what you're seeing and what I think the golf world who's paying attention is seeing is a lot more talent and a lot more players in general than that there were even 4 or 5 years ago.
Absolutely.
So good news is we're creating a place for them to play, and here we go.
Yeah, by the way, the field size from 60 to 90. Mark Berman with us, and he's really the creator of this event. The PXG Women's Match Play Championships coming in early November to Jacksonville, really St. Augustine down the World Golf Village. $10,000 increase in purse. I know that was a big deal. So obviously you've got backing and support and continue to get some more that enhanced this year. So a good payday coming up for these ladies. And we've talked about this last year, but first of all, tickets are $10. That's it. Includes a free beverage. Tickets $10, and the proceeds go to investing in kids. And this is more than a golf tournament. It raises money for charity, investing in kids, and also It's kind of becomes a golf initiative around the golf tournament. Tell us a little bit more about that part of it, Mark, what you guys have been able to create.
Yeah, it's really exciting. Like you've heard of the KPMG Women's Summit that they do at the KPMG PGA Women's Championship. We're basically doing the same thing here with the Generation W Links to Leadership Summit presented by Circle K and Baptist, and grateful for their support. And basically it's a half day, really more 3/4 of a day of connection, mentoring, leadership, creating pathways for not just the players in this event, those 90 players, but we're also inviting the entire team from the entire women's golf team from UNF, from JU, from Flagler, and some other schools and some other young athletes as well, where they're basically getting together in a big room with some of the most powerful, prominent female CEOs and executives in the country. And we're fortunate enough to have Donna Orender and Generation W right here in Jacksonville, and we collaborated with them last year and this year, and to create this amazing day of women's empowerment, women's initiatives that really goes beyond the golf course, right? Like at the end of the day, not all of these players are going to get to the LPGA Tour. A lot of them, one of the things we've learned in the last year is that 70% of our players actually have second jobs. So how do we create those opportunities for them once their career is done and while they're playing and working their way to the LPGA Tour? So it's a big day for women's initiatives, again, inside and outside the ropes, and really an important part of this.
Mark Berman with us. PXG Women's Match Play Championships coming up in November, early November, November 1st. It's on the horizon just a couple weeks right after Florida, Georgia, these big weeks. So you got right on the heels of that, some big events rolling in, so a bunch of momentum in the area already, Mark. What is the atmosphere you'd like to create? Obviously, you get this chance. I mean, golf's beautiful in so many levels. We know the Players' Championship, but there are other events like Furyk and Friends that just happened, and it's a very intimate setting because the crowds are not as massive as the Players' Championship. Sea Island's coming up in St. Simons, Georgia, and that is a very similar setting to that from obviously a PGA Tour Champions Tour perspective. What kind of atmosphere do you try to create for these ladies and for these competitors, but also give that fan experience? As we mentioned, it's just $10 a ticket, so it's certainly very affordable.
Yeah, no, it's a really cool question. I think from a fan's perspective, right, you're getting to see some amazing golf, right? You're seeing some of the difference between these players and the players in the top 150 in the LPGA Tour, just like in the PGA Tour, Korn Ferry to the PGA Tour, is a half a stroke a day, right? So you're seeing some amazing talent, and like you said, you're up close and personal, right? Like we don't even have ropes, right? You're literally walking on the cart paths, you're walking on the grass. At the end of the match play last year, we probably had a couple hundred people literally just following along behind the players in the middle of the fairway. So it's a really different experience than, I mean, I love the Players' Championship, right? But this is a totally different experience where you're literally able to have conversations with these players. They want to have that intimacy. They want to have that relationship, right? It's a really cool environment. It's so different than the players, and I encourage fans to come out, golf fans, to come out and watch this, just sports fans, athlete fans, to come out and just be part of it and cheer these girls on. They don't get galleries. We're trying to create that elevated experience for them, and it'll be worth every penny of $10.
Yeah, no doubt, and a free beverage too, so that's good as well.
And a free beverage.
Mark Berman with us. All right, let's put a bow on it with this. Where's this thing going? Is it here to stay? You've built a lot of this up. You've put a lot of work behind it. You've grown it purse-wise, field-wise. You keep doing some wrinkles here or there. We're going to see this stick around and continue to stay?
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, I'm having trouble seeing past the next 13 days. I'm really looking forward to November 8th.
I hear you, man.
When I can catch a good night's sleep. But yeah, I want this thing to be around forever, right? I want there to be women's golf in this market for a long, long time. It's a great place to be, and the fact that we've got a senior tour event here, a PGA Tour event, and now a women's event, I think is just a really cool thing for sports fans in the market. So we're excited. I can't tell you how excited the players are to be coming here in November. It's going to be a really cool week.
Awesome. Well, we'll share the link as well where you can get tickets, but it's like $10. That's it. So not bad at all. Free junior clinic being held at Slammer and Squire on Sunday, October 30th. So that precedes the event. That is Sunday, right before Halloween. That's Sunday afternoon, 2 p.m. to 3:30. You can watch the Jags in the morning. You can go out to the clinic in the afternoon. And, of course, the play is November 1st through Sunday, November 6th, and you get that weekend finish at Slammer and Squire at World Golf Village. Mark Berman, keep up the good work, man. Thanks for jumping in, and hopefully we'll be joined by a golfer or two over the next couple of weeks leading up to the event.
That'd be awesome. Brent, appreciate your support, and we'll see you soon.
All right, that is Mark Berman. Does a fantastic job with women's golf, not just in our area, all over the place, and has grown this event in just 2 years. We'll share a link how to get tickets. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, Davoli's House of Cards place to be. I do want to ask you a little bit, Casey, about that Black Friday game in 2023. It's not this year, but the NFL and Amazon just announced this Black Friday game. The owners' meetings are taking place, so you're going to have some of these little trickle-down announcements. And I actually think it's genius. It's good marketing.
Is it?
It's a smart move. Yeah, I think it's pretty smart. You know, I don't know if I need Friday football after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
You know, and I have a thought or two about that where I thought there used to be a respect factor for other days in the weeks, and I think the NFL is just like, screw it, we're a monopoly. We'll just go wherever the hell we want to go. So there's a little element of that. But we'll talk about it when we come back to Davoli's House of Cards. And don't forget, 4 o'clock hour, we've got Blake Bortles, the boat, will join us on Brent Friends on ESPN 690. Hey, everybody, it's October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and Fields Auto Group is partnering with a group called Pink Ribbon Jax to provide free mammograms for women in need. And you can help, especially if you're looking for a new luxury car. Just go to any of the Fields Auto Group locations and help out a great cause. $100 for every new car sold in October will benefit Pink Ribbon Jax, and we're talking about tens of thousands of dollars by the end of the month will be donated to the organization to provide free mammograms for women in need the entire month of October. So here's what you can do. If you're looking for a luxury car, you can go to Jacksonville's Luxury Auto Group. Lexus at Jacksonville and Orange Park, Mercedes-Benz at Jacksonville, Orange Park, Jaguar Land Rover Jacksonville, Porsche Jacksonville, Fields Cadillac Jacksonville, and St. Augustine. Fields Auto Group is a proud sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and you can help out Pink Ribbon Jax this month of October for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Go visit my buddy Jim Signorelli, the GM at Fields Cadillac Jacksonville, Fields Cadillac St. Augustine, if you're in the market for a luxury car this month of October. FieldsAuto.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
On Friday, October 21st, AEW Rampage returns to Daly's Place for the last time in 2022.
We're live at Daly's Place in Jacksonville, home of the Jags.
Experience what All Elite Wrestling is all about, live and in person.
Oh, my God!
MJF.
I'm better than you, and you know it.
Saraya.
I am the revolution.
John Moxley.
You better step up or get stepped on.
Ryan Danielson. Claudio Castagnoli. Dr. Britt Baker. DMD. Kingston.
I'll fight all of you right now.
Orange Cassidy. The Acclaim.
Everyone loves the Acclaim.
In our glory. Hook. Hangman Adam Page.
Hangman's in the house.
Jade. FTR.
Top guys out.
Tony Storm. Wardlow. Darby Allin. Chris Jericho. And the Jericho Appreciation Society.
And that's entertainment.
And many more will be there live. Don't miss AEW Live at Daly's Place. Tickets sale now and start at $20 plus fee. Go to AEWTIX.com right now. Card subject to change.
Tailgate for a good cause ahead of the Jaguars-Giants game on October 23rd with ESPN 690. head to the Duval House, a short walk from the stadium starting at 10:30 a.m. for a tailgate benefiting the Tom Coughlin J. Fund Foundation. Drinks, food, prizes, and games are provided. Proceeds help J. Fund patients and families who are tackling pediatric cancer. Join ESPN 690 Sunday, October 23rd and support the J. Fund Foundation.
Now you see it, now you don't. It's the Ghost Your Payments event going on now at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. That's no payments until 2023 on your pre-owned purchase. Arlington will even waive your last 6 lease or loan payments. Poof, they're gone. Got a trade? Arlington will pay up to MSRP for your trade. What are you waiting for? Shop the Ghost Your Payments event before this sale disappears. In person, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard and online at arlingtontoyota.com today. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/October for full detail.
Hey, does your car still only play CDs? No Bluetooth? No CarPlay? You've got an old car, my friend. You know what's better than an old car? A less old car. Get a car or truck that's new to you with a great used car loan from 1-to-1 Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. Get pre-approved for a loan and shop at any dealership in town. Get a low rate and get rid of that old car today. Apply online at 1to1fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
Koala Insulation.
Hey, this is Bruce.
And I'm Carrie.
We're the owners of Koala Insulation. Fall is finally here, and hopefully so are milder temperatures. But don't wait to insulate your home. Take advantage of 20% savings off our summer rates and start saving on those utility bills now and all those hot summers to come.
Give us a call and set up your free evaluation at 679-6282 or find us online at koalainsulation.com.
If you play a sport or coach a sport or watch a sport in Jacksonville, there's a really good chance that uniform was ordered through Baker Sports. Look good, feel good, play good. Custom sports apparel at Baker Sports since 1997 and a staff that wants to help you. They are experts in the business and make outfitting your team a seamless endeavor. The homegrown Jacksonville business is now the top choice for apparel all over the Southeast. Baker Sports, uniforms, hats, shoes, embroidery, screen printing, and 3D printing. They do it all at Baker Sports, helping make your team look good.
That's the sound of a crack in the ceiling found at a home inspection. But with a Realtor by your side, a newfound leak might only cause minor worries. With their expertise, a Realtor can suggest a credit at closing and even connect you to a contractor to help you shore up that leak and alleviate your worries. When it comes to cracks in your plans, the expertise of a Realtor can make all the difference. The difference between an agent and a Realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
Hey everybody, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jacks. There's a good chance you have a smart speaker, so use it with ESPN 690. Stay up to date on the Jags and all things sports by telling Alexa or Google to play ESPN 690. It's as easy as that. Make sure you listen weekdays 3 until 6 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Numbers don't lie in this situation. Saquon Barkley is the best running back in New York. Saquon Barkley, if you ask me, is the best running back in the National Football League. Saquon Barkley is the best running back that you're going to see touch a football in the next 2 or 3 years, watching any level of football, anywhere, anytime. There's no question about it. And that's not because he plays with the Giants. It's not because he's my guy, you know. It's not because any of that. It's because it's true.
Sounds like it was Brandon Jacobs.
It was.
How about that? I think everybody can believe that. Don't you?
Yeah, it's been pretty accurate so far this year.
I asked Maurice Jones-Drew, is he the best back in the league right now? And I understand the resumes of McCaffrey. I understand the Derrick Henry resume. I'm just saying right now, in a power ranking of running backs, I'm not sure there's anybody better.
Not at the moment, no. I wouldn't put anybody above him.
Yeah, and by the way, like, the reason Saquon doesn't have the resume for the most part is because he couldn't stay healthy. And I'm not sure where I stand on McCaffrey. I understand McCaffrey has been brilliant. He's been a fantasy football stud. But, I mean, golly, you got to play once. You got to play a few times in the last 3 years, you know? I mean, I remember those times, but I don't remember them recently. We're almost talking about a guy who feels like it's not over, but I feel like we talk about him in the past tense often when it comes to McCaffrey.
It's true.
And the question is, with Barkley, can you talk about him in the future tense? Like, how much can he stay healthy? Can he continue to do this? He's tough now. and he comes to Jacksonville. You know, what's interesting to me, Saquon Barkley is one of the players in the league, because we haven't seen a lot of them. Like, I'd go to the bank. If I wasn't a Jags or Giants fan, I'd go to the bank to watch him play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't think there's quarterbacks like that. But I don't do that with a lot of players. Like, I'm trying to think of a receiver that I would do that. Maybe would he go watch Jamar Chase play? Has he caught on that much? Justin Jefferson? I don't think so. Maybe take a kid to go see him do the gritty potentially. But
True.
Barkley, I think, is like, because he's just a specimen, you know?
Yeah.
And we feel like we've been cheated as a fan of him potentially being really good because of the injuries. And you just haven't seen a lot. And so I do feel like he's in that category, man. Like, I don't say that about a lot of players. I think, listen, you go support your team and you go watch your team. But I think Saquon kind of fits like, hey, Giants don't come down here all the time. And Saquon Barkley might not play all the time. But Saquon Barkley is like he's almost like a fictional character.
It's accurate.
You know, because, again, everybody's talked about him. What if? And now we're getting to see him. Like, it's the fictional character come to life. I feel like I don't know if I've compared them before, but he's kind of like Zion Williamson in that sense. Like, if Zion Williamson were to play, have success early in the season, and then go to Orlando and play the Magic, which I'm sure they would.
They will.
Like, he'd be worth going to see.
We should go. Road trip.
Well, because how much are you going to see him? You've been waiting to see him. Is he really as good as everybody says? Like, those kind of things. And I think Saquon Barkley kind of fits that to me. I don't know why that feels a little bit different than I would say about most even star players. But he does have that effect, I think, which we'll see. So see you at the bank on Sunday, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And if you're going to go and you're a neutral fan, just put a Jags something on and root for them.
Yeah.
How about it?
Just
that
pick
would
the
be
right
nice.
colors.
Hey, do you like Black Friday game? I mean, do you have a problem with it? You don't care about it. You just want more football. You wish they played 30 games a year and on every day of the week.
Yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Well, leave Saturday for college.
Who cares about the well-being? Just give us, like, the JV team if you need to, right?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
something
whatever,
to gamble on.
Whatever it takes. So, yeah, I get it. You know, there's marketing there, right? You know what they should do, right? They should have the game on, and then, like, the third quarter, they should be like, prime deal. Yes. Get this right now.
They probably will.
Yeah. So, like
I
get it.
It will become like the NFL mixed with the home shopping network.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, man. Can you imagine the guy, Al Michaels, like, wearing some hat? He's like, this hat is now 30% off. Something like that. Like, that would be crazy.
If you order in the next 10 minutes.
Yeah, and then with a little clock on the screen. It'd be wild. But or somebody scores and the jersey 60% off. Listen, I'm with it. Like, I'm not going to be mad at it, especially, like, on a day that a lot of people are off, right? It's a good day for football. So I'm not mad at it. I'm glad it's not this year because I'd be watching soccer. So next year, yeah, we're fine. I'm good with it.
Yeah,
and I will bet on it.
Yeah, I think I guess I don't hate it. It's not a huge college day. There's some high school football. I don't like the NFL monopolizing everything. I think the respect between different sports and commissioners and other things is kind of a cool thing. But they are going to monopolize everything. I just thought this was a smart one. You know, Amazon Prime, all this stuff. I don't even love them being on Amazon, by the way. I wish they were just always on network TV. But I think it's a pretty smart move. Like, I got to tip my cap to the people that came up with this and said, this might work. And I think it does work on a lot of different levels for both products. And I would not be surprised if they're selling some products in some way, shape, or form.
This here air fryer, 80% off as Kirk gets his lunch out of the air fryer.
Well, I mean, something more like you've got to, while you're tailgating, right? Up until noon, the air fryer is. We could come up with a whole thing for them if you want, Amazon. I think Amazon's doing just fine. They don't need us, but here we are.
We're wearing these Bose headphones to broadcast the game now, 35% off for the next 8 minutes.
You know what we need? We need a little boat in our lives. Blake Bortles scheduled to join us when we come back. Brent and Friends on ESPN 690, live from Divoli's House of Cards down in St. Johns County. Hang with us. We'll have some fun in the 4 o'clock hour.
Buying or leasing a car in Jacksonville is the best with Fields Auto Group, Jacksonville's luxury auto group. Lexus of Jacksonville and Orange Park, Mercedes-Benz of Jacksonville, Orange Park, Jaguar Land Rover, Jacksonville, Porsche, Jacksonville, Fields Cadillac, Jacksonville, and St. Augustine. If the luxury car you want isn't in stock, Fields Auto Group will order it. And at Fields, you'll never be charged over sticker price. Stop by a Fields store today and see what world-class service really means. Fields is a proud sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Fields Auto Group, fieldsauto.com.
Never paint your house again.
Hey Jay, at Rhino Shield we talk about protecting your home from the harsh Florida weather because we have seen what happens to those cracks when they get ignored.
Stucco cracks are more than just superficial. Without repair, they can allow water to get into the walls, causing water damage, mold, and even wood rot.
And Jay, some of our customers have been tied up in litigation for up to 4 years trying to be made whole again.
Rhino Shield your home now before you have to go to litigation, and you'll never have to paint again.
And after 22 years in business, our customers continue to trust us to protect and beautify their homes with the most scientifically advanced coating.
With our help, you can have pride in your home again. Call us for 1 year same as cash, 25% off, and a 25-year warranty.
Call 904-519-5055 or visit us at rhinoshieldjax.com. And remember, with Rhino Shield, you'll never have to paint again.
Rhino Shield. Do you make a purchase just because it's cheap? Never, right? So why would you ever purchase a do-it-yourself security system just because it's cheap? Right now, some companies say you can buy a refurbished one for a whopping $206. Refurbished means the last family found it unacceptable, and now they want to pawn it off on you. And that's more upfront money than SafeTouch security charges for their Advantage package, which includes a two-way communicator. And the SafeTouch system includes free installation by SafeTouch professionals. After all, you're the least experienced security installer you know, right? SafeTouch gives you 24/7 UL-approved monitoring in their very own central station right here where you live. So the do-it-yourself system has cheap, non-professional equipment, comes with no Florida license, and wholesale who-knows monitoring. SafeTouch Security comes with the finest equipment available, certified installers, and monitoring right here in Florida, with a lifetime warranty on parts and labor. Call 888-723-8682 or visit safetouch.com today. State license number EF0000233.
Oh boy, Buddy, the Buddy Holly story is back and it's better than ever. This show will have you dancing in the aisles. Don't miss Buddy.
Tomorrow at the Florida Theater. Tickets on sale at floridatheater.com.
Hey, poker players. Best Bet Jacksonville has another exciting poker tournament series for you. The Card Player Poker Tour is coming to Best Bet Jacksonville from October 27th to November 14th. This tournament series is packed with excitement and features 15 different poker tournaments, including a $1,700 mystery bounty event with bounties ranging from $500 up to $50,000, and the $3,000 no Limit Hold'em main event from November 11th to the 14th. Go to bestbetjax.com to view the tournament schedule.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
ESPN 690 and Action Sports Shacks presents Brent and Friends with Brent Martineau.
We're going to have to show a little more patience than the year two pom-pom people.
Casey Kurtz.
Yo! What are we doing, bro? Come on!
And Aaron Schachter.
I'm all in favor of these two showing their love, really celebrating their relationship.
Get him! Get him! Get him! Hit him! Hit him! Yeah! This is Brent and Friends with Brent Martineau, Casey Kurtz, and Aaron Schachter on Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio, ESPN 690.
Man, I'm excited about this one. I haven't talked to this guy in a long time. I got to find him on a driving range, it feels like, if I happen to land on the right golf course. Welcome back to Davoli's House of Cards, St. Johns County. Brent Friends on ESPN 690. Maurice Jones-Drew yesterday. Rasheed Mathis joined us yesterday. Each and every Monday they do that. Clay Harbor on Wednesdays. And, hey, maybe we can book Blake Bortles each and every Tuesday. I'm not sure he really wants to do that, but we appreciate him jumping in. Fresh off retirement, Blake Bortles, what's happening, man?
Not much, Brent. How are you? Good to hear from you.
Yeah, thanks for taking a few minutes with us. We appreciate it. Man, retired at your age? That sounds weird.
Yeah, it is. It sounds weird, and it actually is weird. So I'm working my way through it, figuring it out, kind of hanging with the family, taking it easy, playing a bunch of golf right now, and then we'll see what the next chapter brings.
Are you on the golf course right now?
I'm not. I'm currently walking our youngest through the neighborhood in a stroller because I figured it'd be the only way I could keep him quiet while I did this.
That's awesome. Hey, that's all right. Rasheen juggles his kids sometimes coming home from school, so we're used to it. We're fine if something happens. How's being a dad, man, and the family life? Is it going well?
It is, yeah. It's awesome. My fiance and I have two. We had our first in 17 in December, which was one of the better years of my life for sure with everything going on. And then we have an 18-month-old boy now as well.
That's awesome. Really good stuff. And why did you decide to do it? What was the final thing for you to retire? It sounds like you might have made the decision months and months ago, but what brought you to that outcome?
Yeah, I did. I called my agent and had a conversation with him, told, family and close friends probably like right after the season, really. February, March-ish was kind of when I, made the final decision. And then, I got out publicly a week or so ago. But, it's kind of a multiple, facet thing. My body wasn't the same anymore. I was starting to, bounce around, playing different teams and doing things and stuff like that. When, you got two kids and a family at home, becomes a bit more difficult. And, at the end of the day, it was hard for me to look at myself as the player that I had become. I didn't feel I was the same football player, and I didn't really want to go out like that. So I figured better to just call it on my own rather than waiting for no more teams to call me.
Yeah, that's good, man. And how surprised as the months went along were you that nobody was breaking the story? I mean, that's a heck of a deal to keep that under wraps for a bit.
Yeah, it was. I kind of knew something would come out eventually because somebody would ask down the road or whatever. But I think we made it 3 or so months. I was hoping to just fade away, but we almost did it.
That's good. I will tell you this, and I've said this, and I know you probably don't listen to shows, although you should. I mean, 3 to 6 every day now if you want. Jump on
program.
it. But it's a good program. I've said it for the last couple of years. I don't understand why Blake Bortles isn't on a roster. I just didn't get it. With your resume, with what you accomplished, obviously a good team guy, good room guy. I mean, were you as surprised as me looking at some of these players around the league that were on rosters, and I won't call them out, I won't make you call them out, but that you didn't have more of a permanent job as a backup at the very least?
Yeah, it's it's definitely one of those things. I'm probably a bit biased towards my situation, being the one living through it. But at the same time, I was pretty realistic, and I wasn't meant to be. I don't have the makeup to be the perfect, backup quarterback. The guy that goes in. I guess I had everything besides the perfect backup physical tools, that throws the pretty ball and does. That wasn't really my game. I was kind of more of a mutter. It didn't always look pretty, and it was trying to find ways to win. And I don't think that always plays well as the backup that's got to go out and spin it and look good in practice and 7-on-7 and scout team and those things. Not that that's an excuse or anything, but it, for whatever reason, it never worked out. And I was never really find that backup role and hang on for a few years.
Yeah, I guess I've been told that a little bit too. I mean, I guess I understand that, but heck, man, I'm telling you this, if my quarterback goes down and I got a guy that's thrown 100 touchdowns in the league and played as many games as you have and played in some big games, I kind of would rather have that guy with the experience. Screw the practice football.
Well, I appreciate it, man. I thought the same thing, too.
Retired Blake Bortles with us here on Brent Friends on ESPN 690. How close to the game will you stay? Do you watch it every Sunday? Do you try to get away from it? Where are you from a football fandom now that you're hanging it up?
Probably somewhere in the middle. I'm not tuned in, to every game. I'll catch like the Thursday or Monday night games usually. I try and watch guys coaching or playing that I know and have relationships with, watch them and keep tabs on them and check in, try and keep up with the Jags. But as far as coaching or doing anything, getting into it, I always said I want it, but then, at 30 years old, you retire and you realize it's one of very few things in your life. So it's hard to probably stay away from it for too long.
What's your take on Trevor Lawrence? He's 23 games into his career, obviously got a lot of talent, high draft pick like you were, a lot of pressure on him, had a miserable year last year with the Urban Meyer situation. How much can you relate of what maybe he's going through at times with the roller coaster of being a young quarterback, and what do you see out of the Jags' current franchise quarterback?
I think he's obviously, what everybody has always said about him, he's a special talent and a very good football player. that has, I think, an unlimited ceiling that he can get to. As far as, which are things that I have, way less experience in. But, going through kind of a bit of turmoil and having to overcome some adversity early on in your career, some coaching changes and things of that nature, it's hard to deal with, especially as, a young kid that played for one guy in a consistent, steady system throughout college the same way I did. That stuff that it's all part of the maturation process, I think. And, what can make him, truly special to kind of overcome all those things and continue to progress and become a good football player in the NFL.
I was thinking we were going to do this interview today, so I had like the most simple question of all time that I'm not sure will be the easiest to answer, but how hard is it to play quarterback in the NFL? You went through the gamut, man. How hard is it?
Hackett and I used to kind of have, I guess it was an inside joke or something, that he would mention. Obviously, with his football history, his dad and everything, he often would say, just, me and him, or maybe if Chad Henne was around, that playing quarterback, maybe outside of being the president of the United States, could be the hardest job in the world. So I'm sure that is a bit dramatic, but I do think that there's some credibility to it as far as the amount of things that go into it, the amount of pressures and expectations on you. It is hard to do, and the guys that do it well, I think deserve the utmost respect.
Well, he had to help you through all those times when you were taking some of the bullets. Now you might have to help Hackett through some of this time right now. I'm sure you shoot him an encouraging text. It's been a rough go early on in Denver.
Yeah, it has. I'm sure he'll get it figured out. He's a super smart dude and a guy that anybody that gets to spend any time around him absolutely loves. So I know it's been a bit tough. It seems that they're on primetime television every single week. So I'm sure they wouldn't mind a Sunday 1 o'clock game or something, but I'm sure they'll get it figured out. He's awesome.
They're going to have to play some, or at least one Sunday at 9 a.m. too, Blake, and that one's going to be a tough one for them when they play the Jags. But this is Casey. We do appreciate you joining us, Blake. I do want to ask you, when you look back at how everything played out, college, the draft, being with the Jags, everything, and then take yourself back to a kid just playing football, did you satisfy yourself with your career and made younger Blake Bortles proud?
I think as far as what the expectations were as a young kid, yeah, absolutely. I mean, definitely exceeded those. I mean, my goal as a kid was to start on my high school football team. So getting a chance to, go to college for free and play at UCF and getting drafted in the first round by the Jags, to me, it was, I wouldn't change anything about it. And it was everything, I ever dreamed of doing. And then obviously as you go through it, your expectations change and you want to be successful and be the best player you can be. So, I think looking back on it, it's, you want to put it in perspective and say, I accomplished a lot. I did it, a lot of good things. But at the same time, it's, there's so many things you wish you could have done differently. You wish you could have done better and had more success. And I don't know if there's anybody as an athlete that ever retires saying like, yeah, absolutely, I crushed that. I think majority of guys, have some regrets or some things that they wish could have gone differently.
Blake Bortles with us here, Brent Friends on ESPN 690. We'll just keep you for a few more minutes, man. Appreciate taking the time on the walk with the kiddo to jump in. And one thing about it is the fans are glad to hear from you, I think. The fans really like Blake Bortles. I have called this the weirdest relationship between a player and this franchise maybe that I've ever seen. Obviously, they were super critical of you at times, which fans are. They have this unbelievable 2017 moment. Like, if you're my kid and he's 17, which he is, that was the only year since he's been born that was good, and Blake Bortles and company helped deliver that. And then you were just Jacksonville as Jacksonville can be. Do you feel all that, like all those emotions, even now, of how the fans feel about you?
Yeah, I do. I think it's definitely a more in-person experience now. I don't have social media, so I'm not on there seeing, good or bad or whatever said on there. But, I remember having a conversation with Gus Bradley when he left town. We stayed in contact and continued to talk. And, it was during a year, the end of my third year, the year Gus got let go, where things weren't going well. And I remember saying to him, I can't wait to just get out of town and get away from all this. And he said, just stick it out, hang around regardless of how your career goes. It's an unbelievable place, an unbelievable city, and a really great place to live and raise a family. And, I kind of shook it off and said, yeah, whatever. And looking back on that now, I mean, it couldn't be more true. You know, we fell in love with this place. It's a city. It's our home. It will be for a really long time. And, you know, like I said earlier, it was a blessing to get drafted by Jacksonville. Being from Orlando and being able to have family and friends come visit and be close. And you know, the one successful year that we had, like you said, I wish we had more, but the way the town was throughout that 2017 year and that run, what was really cool. And I hope they get to experience that again with the Jags.
Hey, the year is 2032. It's been 15 years since that AFC championship, and we bring you all back to the stadium. Who gets the bigger ovation, Blake Bortles or Jalen Ramsey?
I don't know. Probably Jalen. Jalen's way more of a character, man. And he's a really, really good football player.
Yeah, you're definitely off social media. It's not even close who gets the bigger ovation. Let me help you out.
Yeah,
It'll be Blake Bortles.
You might have missed some stuff. I'm not going to lie to you.
That could be. Well, I was in L.A. when he showed up in L.A., so I do remember some of that. But I obviously was on the other side of that divorce.
Absolutely. Okay, give AFC Championship 10 minutes to go. You got the. How did you think you were going to the Super Bowl?
I did, honestly. We were, being up. I think we were up 10 points with 5 minutes left in the game, and it was really special to have. I mean, I think it was 3rd and 18, and we were. Tom was backed up. And, you're kind of looking at the clock thinking, no way. And he converts that ball across the middle. And then, I think we go 3 and out, and then he goes right down the field again to score another touchdown. And we had a chance at the end. I can kind of still see the throw like it was yesterday to D.D. Westbrook and Stephon Gilmore breaking that ball up on 4th down. But I think anytime you're playing Tom Brady, especially in Foxborough, it was never over till the end. Yeah. That was one of those that was hard to swallow.
That was a great game.
I guess if you're going, somebody's talking to you about that game. It sounds like I guess if you're going to lose, and this doesn't make Jags fans feel any better because Miles Jack wasn't down still. But I guess in your world to lose to Brady and tell that story some 50 years down the road, it's a pretty good one. Are you making Brandon Linder babysit it all these days, or what? I mean, what's he doing?
Brandon, I don't think has been in civilization since he announced his retirement. He's either been in the ocean or he's been in the woods hunting. So he's having an unbelievable time. But we speak pretty frequently, and it's interesting to hear. He's watching, keeping up with the Jags obviously as well. And both of us, there's times where it's like, man, how fun would it be a part of to still be playing, and still. Be a part of everything involved that comes with winning. It's so much fun when you're able to experience that and go through that.
Yeah, we're waiting on it around here, but that one big year was a big year. I've got 2 more questions for you. One is Clay Harbor told us a story about Mavericks in a fight that started because of a wet willy. Is that true?
I think that is true. But it never happened is the wild thing. Clay probably remembers it better than I do. But there was like a brawl that happened because somebody said that somebody else gave me a wet willy, but it never happened. So I don't know if it was completely made up or maybe the guy pretended to. But I actually had a buddy that was there with me. I had a couple friends. There was a group of us. And one of my buddies was on, one of those scooters where you put your leg up on and scoot around and you busted his ankle or something. And he ends up in the middle of the fight on his back and can't find his scooter, and he's just getting kicked around. So it was a pretty common thing.
Yeah, that sounds like a memorable night for many involved. All right, what are you going to do now? Do you have any plan? I mean, you got dad life, you getting married, you got husband life. That may take up the next couple of years, but, man, you're young. I mean, do you have any vision of what's next?
I don't. We're working on a wedding. We're engaged right now. I've got 2 kids. We're building a house, so we'll be involved in that for the next whoever knows how long. But outside, as far as career paths, no, I have no idea. Playing a decent amount of golf, and I'm definitely going to have to get into something soon. So we'll see what happens.
Listen, man, we don't pay as much as Barstool or anything, but we got Mojo on Monday, Rasheed Mathis on Monday. We got Clay Harbor on Wednesdays. Open invitation for Bortles, just an hour a week. Come on down if you want to kill some time, man.
I appreciate it, Brent, man. Thank you.
All right. Say hello to the family and enjoy retirement. Thanks for jumping in with us.
Absolutely. Y'all take care.
All right. That was Blake Bortles, former Jags quarterback, doing well. And I'm not sure I envisioned a few years ago doing an interview with Blake Bortles pushing a stroller down Jack's Beach or Marsh Landing or wherever he is right now out there. But that just happened.
It did. It really did happen.
Yeah, that did happen. It was good to hear from Blake Bortles.
It really was.
He's sounds like he's doing well. It's got to be the strangest thing, right, to be retired at 30. And he really wouldn't have to do anything the rest of his life.
No.
He made, what did he make? Somebody say recently 48 million?
Yeah, it was like
something
46.
Like that?
Yeah.
You asked a really good question there, and you answered it very well. It was on my mind as well.
I knew it was, Brent. That's how I had to get in there.
But wasn't he? He keeps it real in terms of not say. Listen, I wasn't this flashy, throw the spiral, beautiful ball. He called himself a mutter, and at the same time, look at all he accomplished. When I'm not sure anybody back when he was a freshman at UCF or coming out of Oviedo would have said, "Oh yeah, that's going to be Blake." And a lot of these guys, a lot of people say at that stage, "Oh, he's got a chance to be boom, 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 boom," right? And so there's an appreciation that you could feel from Blake Bortles about his career and about what he accomplished and what he did, and then also from a competitive standpoint, almost this dissatisfaction that it wasn't enough, which I think kind of mirrors at times probably the fan base, right?
Yeah, I think that's why I asked it, though, just the point of I think you're only satisfied if you can satisfy yourself, right? And that's why I just wanted to know where he was at with that, and I think that's where you want to be, to the point where, you're, in a way, proud of yourself, which is how I tried to frame it, I guess. But, yeah, I mean, it's kind of cool to just hear his take on that, and obviously, to your point, it's just a wild thing that's happened, and the love for Blake, as it should be. I mean, as a fan, as well as obviously talking on the radio, I got mad love for Blake. Didn't want to say this while he was on the phone, although he might still be able to hear us. I don't know. Blake has signed a lot of autographs for me in my day. He's always been a good dude. I got a lot of appreciation for Blake, so it's just cool to hear from him like he did. I know a lot of people on YouTube are super excited about it as well. So overall, just a good day on the show, Brent.
Yeah, it was good. We appreciate the help getting Blake on, and I tell you what, I think he'd actually be really good. Like he could do that what everybody else does these days. I'm not talking. He certainly could come here, but I think he could do that.
There's nowhere else to go.
Quarterback, like the analyst stuff, and he's got such a niche as well with Barstool or whoever. They could probably give him a more increased role. You know who I could see him with?
Amazon. No, I'm just kidding.
No. How about him and McAfee together?
That'd be nuts. Yeah.
I mean, different. They're different personality-wise, but they'd probably be like McAfee would pull some stuff out of them that'd probably be hilarious.
You'd have to fight AJ Hawk for the spot. But
yeah, and especially in that laid-back atmosphere and stuff. So I'm wondering. I always wonder what these guys do life after football. I think it's really hard. I've said it many times. I think it's really, really hard to go from their world to the real world. And I guess one other note that I should, I've done many stories with Blake over the years on his foundation and all the folks that he's helped in town. And I think it probably hit the heartstrings for a lot of people if they were listening to the interview. We hope you were, when he said what he said about Jacksonville, when he brought up the Gus Bradley part of that story.
Mm-hmm.
And here he is years later, building a home, starting a family, all that stuff in Jacksonville. He's not going back to Oviedo. I was going to ask him the question, but he answered it anyway. And could go to a lot of different places, right, with the amount of money that he's got, and in staying right here in Jacksonville, which, by the way, so many people do. So many coaches, so many players come right back here to Jacksonville.
Yeah.
And I always think it's an interesting dynamic that even some that, after a while, almost all of them have been criticized to some degree. And some have been criticized more than others. I'll bring up Gus Bradley. Been criticized many a times by the fan. He'll be back in Jacksonville someday. He still has a house in Jacksonville, and they're not selling it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and even Blake, which I also think it shows that we see people on Twitter, we see people on Sundays get really mad, right? Really angry,
yes.
Get all in their emotions.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's a really cool group of people in the River City that when you see somebody in the grocery store, or you see somebody at the beach or in the neighborhood or whatever, it's not attack mode.
Yeah.
I'm not sure every town. Like, I'm not sure that happens in New York. If I don't know, like Garrett Cole's walking down the street after giving up 12 runs in a playoff game,
Yeah.
I'm not sure he's getting as much love as he might in a place like Jacksonville. That's my point.
Definitely not on that front. And by the way, Brent, just want to let you know, our guy Clay Harbor chimed in. I posted that we were going to have Blake on our Instagram.
Yeah.
And he commented, "Don't ask about the Mavericks incident." So I replied at Clay, I'm like, "Oh, Brett did, actually.
Too late.
Believe it or not, he did." So we'll have to follow up with Clay tomorrow on that one. But, yeah.
Tell him he was fine with it. He just enhanced the story a little bit.
It was all good,
Don't
Clay.
worry.
Clay, you're good.
Clay Harbor a couple weeks ago when he tells that story. We have it on our YouTube channel, Action Sports Shacks. And if you go see, it's like a 4-minute clip, and he's telling the story. And I think the part in there when he's like, "I'm not sure I should tell the story," right? And he hesitates to tell the story.
Like, well,
and then he's like, "All right, I'll tell the story." Because anytime you say, "I'm not sure I should tell the story,"
you
well,
want
then you
to
got
hear
to
that
tell
story.
it,
It's a
right?
story that people want to hear.
And it was a good story. And actually on Facebook, I think I don't know who it was, but I think somebody who was associated with Mavericks actually commented on it.
Really?
I don't know if they owned it, managed it. I'm not really sure. But they did comment on it.
Reaching the people.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. I appreciate Blake Bortles coming on.
Yes, sir.
And it was fun to hear from Blake Bortles. Hopefully, I'm sure you'll see him at a golf course sometime soon. He does play a lot of golf, and he's not going anywhere. He's staying in the River City, even though his NFL career is now over. Brent Martineau, Casey Kurtz, Brent Friends on ESPN 690. We're live from Davoli's House of Cards in St. Johns County. Come on by, say hello. We got to get in the fantasy card breaks.
How did we do last week?
Yeah, just okay. Like, we're in the middle of the pack, but we got to get in the money,
just
man.
okay, Brent.
We've been in the money once. Like, we've been in the top 3. We got to get back in the money, so we'll see what kind of team we can create today.
Can we get Blake?
Yeah, I was actually thinking of that. I was like, I wonder what the most expensive Blake Bortles card is.
Probably the true RPA out of National Treasures.
How did you know that?
It's usually the most expensive card for said
For
person.
anything?
Yeah.
Okay. Like, how much are we talking?
That I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
Because I don't know fully, but I would guess.
All right.
We should get one.
Yeah, maybe I will. I'll get one. We will be back on Brent Friends on ESPN 690, live at Davoli's House of Cards right after this.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Breezy and cooler today with a mix of clouds and sun and highs in the 70s. Quite chilly tonight near record lows in the mid-40s. And then a mostly sunny, breezy, and cool Wednesday. Highs tomorrow only in the upper 60s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. Join me today beginning at 5 p.m. on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds. Save thousands on buy one, get one on wedding bands now through October 23rd.
Victim of a slip and fall? It takes one phone call to take back control of your life. Anajar and Levine will fight to get you the compensation you deserve. Call me, Mark Anajar, for a free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
Main office, Jacksonville.
If you play a sport or coach a sport or watch a sport in Jacksonville, there's a really good chance that uniform was ordered through Baker Sports. Look good, feel good, play good. Custom sports apparel at Baker Sports since 1997 and a staff that wants to help you. They are experts in the business and make outfitting your team a seamless endeavor. The homegrown Jacksonville business is now the top choice for apparel all over the Southeast. Baker Sports, uniforms, hats, shoes, embroidery, screen printing, and 3D printing. They do it all at Baker Sports, helping make your team look good.
Bank how and when you want to with Community First. Get free checking with rewards and free digital tools that make managing your money simple and life simply better. Add an account at justbeyourself.com. Community First Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
The American Legion. We're a powerful force for the nation. We're the largest veteran service organization in the nation with nearly 2.5 million members. And when you add to that the American Legion Auxiliary and the Sons of the American Legion, we have a family of 4 million members, working hard every day for our veterans, our youth, and our communities.
The American Legion Middleburg Post 250.
Anywhere fans go to cheer on their team, there are behind-the-scenes MVPs ensuring everything is game day ready. We see you, Joe, fixing seats so every fan can enjoy every game. And Allie, who keeps her stadium running smoothly from the moment the first game starts to the last play of the season. At Grainger, you're our MVPs, and we're always here for you with supplies and solutions for every industry and 24/7 customer support. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
In Florida, it's not if the storms are coming, it's when the storms are coming. And that's why you need the Chief. Jacksonville's chief meteorologist, Mike Burrish, with a proven track record of keeping local families safe. Rain, heat, hurricanes, flooding, tornadoes. We get it all. Just more reasons why you need the Chief. Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish, backed by the First Alert Weather Team. Only on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax.
Buying or leasing a car in Jacksonville is the best with Fields Auto Group, Jacksonville's luxury auto group. Lexus of Jacksonville and Orange Park, Mercedes-Benz of Jacksonville, Orange Park, Jaguar Land Rover, Jacksonville, Porsche, Jacksonville, Fields Cadillac, Jacksonville, and St. Augustine. If the luxury car you want isn't in stock, Fields Auto Group will order it. And at Fields, you'll never be charged over sticker price. Stop by a Fields store today and see what world-class service really means. Fields is a proud sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Fields Auto Group, fieldsauto.com.
Is your digital marketing strategy keeping you up at night? Do you have more questions than answers? CMG Local Solutions can help you take all the guesswork out of digital marketing. Let CMG Local Solutions create the best marketing plan for your global, regional, or local business. CMG Local Solutions has the right tools to fit your business's marketing needs.
Learn more at cmglocalsolutions.com/Jacksonville. That's cmglocalsolutions.com/Jacksonville.
ESPN 690 is home for the Florida Sportsman Fishing Show hosted by Captain Rick Riles. Tune in every Saturday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. to find out what's biting now. Fishing so fresh, you can almost smell it.
I'll second guest dinners with friends because they can be interrupted by diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or oily stools. It turns out I have EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, which means I'm missing the enzymes needed to digest food. My doctor prescribed Creon, pancrelipase, an oral prescription medication that replaces pancreatic digestive enzymes. Creon treats EPI due to cystic fibrosis, chronic pancreatitis, pancreatectomy, or other conditions.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you're allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon.
Creon is the #1 prescribed EPI treatment. Ask your doctor about Creon for EPI and visit creoninfo.com or call 800-633-9110 to learn more. That's CREONinfo.com.
Listen to ESPN 690 anytime, anywhere, on any device. Whether you're at home or on the go, get the latest on the Jags, FSU, the Jumbo Shrimp, and Action Sports Jax on Odyssey.com. That's AUDACY.com or on ESPN690.com.
I don't think it's an overreaction at all. I think Dr. Z is putting himself in a perfect position to remain the starter the rest of the year as long as they continue to keep winning. He just looks different to me than Mac Jones. Mac Jones is herky-jerky. It just didn't look right. You talk about the running game. Maybe the running game is indicative of what this young man has been able to do for them, and now they're running the ball much better.
This is overreaction to
There we
Zappy.
go.
I mean, come on, right?
Yeah, but-
Keyshawn Johnson, KJM, Jay Williams, Max Kellerman. You listen to it in the morning, 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. Hey, you got to have a take. And I think there are some people that are kind of feeling that way. I don't know if what happens a lot of times with these guys is that nobody knows who the heck they are, Casey. So you have no tendencies on a guy like Zappy. You have no, who is he? Everybody's Googling this guy.
Truly.
Him and Skylar Thompson, who played this past week, everybody's Googling them.
Skylar, yeah, Kansas State.
Right? So if that's the case, then you haven't done any. What do you even have on him? You have no idea. And I think it's like a pitcher in baseball. A lot of times the young stud pitcher, or not even a stud, will come up and deliver a heck of an outing, even against a team like the Yankees or Astros, because you have no history with the guy. So you have no homework to do. And you just got to go see it.
Yeah.
And then react. Well, these guys are so trained to know tendencies, what they like to do, what they plan for that stuff. that it's easier when you have material to look at. And so I just wonder in 2 games, 3 games, is Zappe going to be all that, what he is right now? You got to give him now a lot of credit. And I know what people are saying because of the whole Tom Brady thing 20-something years ago. I'm just not ready to say that's it. And I think they still have to find out what Mac Jones is. Do we even know what Mac Jones is completely if you're New England? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either. I'm surprised. I'm not surprised because it's just the way that we do things. But how do you give up on Mac that quickly? They went to the playoffs. You know what I'm saying?
Mac did a lot of good things, but I think there's always been a curiosity with Mac is where's his ceiling?
Right.
And so, but I'm not sure what's Zappe's ceiling. I don't know.
Yeah.
And by the way, they said it about Brady 20 years ago. What's the ceiling? Well, not much. That's why he's a 6th-round pick, and that's why this, and then he turns into something. So my point, I guess, with that, if you think if people in New England or around the country are like, hey, the Zappe guy looks pretty good, well, that's great, but you have no idea where it's headed, and I don't think you know where Mac Jones is heading after 20 games in the NFL. So
you don't know
you
for
kind
sure.
of have to find out your 15th overall pick investment before you find out the other guy.
Yeah, you remember Mike White? Remember how much I love that guy?
True, that. Hey, that's actually a good example.
I know, that's why I brought it up. I mean, he's gone. Nobody even talks about Mike White. And for a minute there, it was like, hey, we should bench Zach Wilson for Mike White. So, yeah, I think these things just happen. I think Mac will be fine. I understand. It's like an easy. Here's the thing, Keyshawn. Listen, love you, but it was the easy take. Okay, and I'm the king of take the easy take. Okay, and that one I just can't co-sign because it's just not good.
I think easy takes are okay. It's a decent take because we're talking about it, and everybody is talking about it. He's been good. They've won games, and again, this isn't. If this had happened in Jacksonville, people would still be so high on the Trevor Lawrence ceiling. They're like, this guy's number 1 overall pick, man. I want to see this guy for 3 years before I say he's not the guy.
Yes.
Now, not every week you want to say that about Trevor. I get it, but most people I think would say that. I think that the door gets open on conversations like this because Mac is not perceived that way. Even like Justin Fields or even Zach Wilson, he's perceived a little bit different. He's perceived almost like, hey, you stole that at 15, and how much can you get out of it? And I think the perception of it changes everything. Speaking of, we used to do report cards every Tuesday on the rookie quarterbacks.
Yeah,
and we
did.
might have to bring those back.
Should we?
On the second-year guys. Maybe we have to because obviously Fields has gotten a lot of attention. Fields has had some last week he should have won the game. Had some nice moments. You feel bad for him at times.
He had the
on
drive.
Football. He had the drive. He did a lot of things last week that I thought were pretty good. He's got very little help, and they've got a lot of problems. But I'm still a believer in Justin Fields if they don't just lose him mentally this year because they're asking a lot of him. Obviously, Trevor, we have seen the roller coaster, but we are seeing the best of Trevor versus last year this year. And we've seen some really good moments, and we've seen some poor moments. And I think we're eager to see what happens next. But you can debate it in a bunch of ways right now, and it's never satisfying for some of the fans. But I think he's in a pretty good place right now, Casey. 6 games, 3 of them have been really good. The big moment last week, he's doing a better job of taking care of the football, minus the Philly game. But if you look at the whole thing, doing a better job. Heck, even 2 of his interceptions are basically Hail Mary ducks at the end of the game.
Yeah.
So, well, they are. I mean, I know people don't like the ducks, but they're like, especially the one. I mean, the one was probably going to get picked off if it was a spiral. That's what happens on Hail Marys at the end of the game.
Yeah, you're talking Houston.
Yeah, Houston one.
Yes.
Yeah, I know you guys are still all mad. I'm not as mad as everybody else at the Washington.
Still big mad. Yeah. That might just be a me thing, but yeah, listen.
No, it's not just a you thing. It's not. But
my problem with it is I don't understand how he threw it, and I'm never going to we'll just move on from that. But
it's situation. It's the same reason he took some of the intentional groundings, right? It's the same reason he spun into a sack. Sometimes he tries to do too much, and he has had some lapses, if you will, on situational moments. I'm not saying he's got no IQ or he's a dumb player. I just think at times he's trying to either do too much or not thinking the right way, and I think that's pretty evident. Even the 2nd and 1 against Houston is evidence of that.
Let me ask you this, and we're way probably too far into this to even do this, and I don't know if there's an example, but Can you think of another guy who in college did not play that many close games, so the situational awareness just wasn't there from the get-go? Because they really only played in the playoff, they played close games occasionally during the regular season. But for the most of the time, they're blowing people out. They're not worried about that kind of stuff. And I know we're so far into it now that it doesn't matter. But I just wonder if that was just something that he didn't have hammered home because you're winning by 30 all the time.
I'd have to go back and look at how many were close, but I understand your point, and I think it's a valid one. It's one that I would fall back on, even in high school. My guess is in high school, they were blowing a lot of teams out.
Right, exactly.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, my view of the quarterback position a lot of times in the situational stuff is like, golly, didn't you guys play Madden? Didn't you play in the backyard? Like, when I played backyard football when I was like 7, we used to pretend we were in the 2-minute drill. And, time was running out.
I would spike the ball in the backyard.
I mean, doesn't everybody do that?
Yes. You spike it just so you can run the fake spike on the next play, throw everybody off, Brent. You know what I'm saying?
But I will say this, Trevor doesn't strike me as a guy that was locked into Madden all of his high school and collegiate career.
I'd be surprised if he ever played, to be honest with you. I just get that vibe from Trevor. I don't know why. Not a video game guy, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't know that. He might be. But I don't know. I don't get the vibe that he is. But more importantly, the college one, yeah, they had a few. We can remember a few of those situations, but not a lot. They were really good in his career there for the most part.
Some would say
beating
great.
up a weak ACC a lot of times.
Yes.
And so I would think, again, I think there's a difference between I haven't been in that situation a lot, and so I'm not thinking maybe the right way versus something else I think Trevor is really wrestling with, and I think this is the big culprit of it, trying to do too much because he's the number 1 overall pick, the franchise-saving player, and had a bad year last year. And then also wrestle with the idea that he just hasn't been in those situations a bunch.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's kind of like a blend of that, but I honestly think the biggest one, like the 2nd and 1 play against Houston, the 3rd and 11 when he just doesn't live for another down, I think that's more him trying to make a play because he feels the pressure like he's got to make a play in a big spot. And he's got to be the guy to flip this franchise around. And that's a natural instinct for a guy that, an entire city has put a lot on.
Yes.
I mean, I think that's got to happen.
It does, yeah. No, I hear you. I'm with you there. Hey, real quick, in the chat before we go to break, I think somebody's answered my question. I am legend. They said Ken Dorsey. In terms of the situational, you were up a lot, you came to the NFL, didn't have to deal with it.
Yeah.
He was quarterback when Miami was good, right?
He was, yeah. But what I don't know about that situation, I'm trying to visualize him from a NFL standpoint. Did he have some rough times in the situational stuff? Did he even play a lot?
Well, not a ton, but the stats are really bad. So, I could, see it from that point. Again, I don't know the situational, but I think that fits somewhat what I'm trying to say because Miami was so good, you weren't really worried about that. And now, again, not the number 1 overall pick, but,
I think when you come from, to the point of all that, right, we have had quarterbacks in the past come into the league and thrive from places like Eastern Illinois, like Tony Romo.
Yeah.
Well, you were probably in a lot of those games and had to deal with those circumstances at Eastern Illinois. When you are, let's be honest, Jalen Hurts, when you are even Mac Jones, you might be in a couple of them, but you're not in a lot of them at Alabama and Oklahoma.
Right.
And so you haven't experienced every situation. That's one of those deals where I say this all the time about travel baseball and softball because that's the world we live in. The best part of you can criticize everything about travel ball and all this stuff, but maybe the best part of it is it puts kids at an early age in these kind of intense situation because parents are so crazy. And everybody feels it. It's 2-1 when you're 8 years old and everybody wants to win the trophy.
You got parents booing you, right?
Well, you don't have that. But
speak for yourself, dog. I got booed one time.
The amount of situations kids have been in over the years in the 7th inning, in the 6th inning of a tie game, bases loaded, all those, you actually get a lot of reps at it.
That's true.
I don't think you do that in the old school of baseball, where it's rec ball and high school ball and you didn't have all this competition and craziness going on around it. Now, again, there's a bad side to all that. I'm not disregarding that. But I think it's one of the actual pros of it for a lot of players that play and come out of there and play in college and maybe go to the pros and stuff. That they learn to be in those situations. And maybe even in life, in a big business meeting or sales call or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there is something to it that you got to live through some of that stuff. And it might be Trevor Lawrence hasn't lived through enough of them yet. And he's learned to live through some of those as an NFL quarterback right now. We will come back, and from Davoli's House of Cards, a special guest joins us next as well. And we talk more Jags football because I do have another question about one of the other quarterbacks in that rookie class from a year ago. We'll be back on ESPN 690.
Injured on the job? It takes one phone call to take back control of your life. Anajar Levine will fight to get you the compensation you deserve. Call me, Glenn Levine, for a free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
Main office, Jacksonville. Do you make a purchase just because it's cheap? Never, right? So why would you ever purchase a do-it-yourself security system just because it's cheap? Right now, some companies say you can buy a refurbished one for a whopping $206. Refurbished means the last family found it unacceptable, and now they want to pawn it off on you. And that's more upfront money than SafeTouch security charges for their Advantage package, which includes a two-way communicator. And the SafeTouch system includes free installation by SafeTouch professionals. After all, you're the least experienced security installer you know, right? SafeTouch gives you 24/7 UL-approved monitoring in their very own central station right here where you live. So the do-it-yourself system has cheap, non-professional equipment, comes with no Florida license, and wholesale who-knows monitoring. SafeTouch Security comes with the finest equipment available, certified installers, and monitoring right here in Florida, with a lifetime warranty on parts and labor. Call 888-723-8682 or visit safetouch.com today. State license number EF0000233.
Are you ready for a scary good deal? Then get to Arlington Toyota for the Ghost Your Payments event and watch your payments like a ghost disappear. How about no payments until 2023 on your new Toyota purchase? Arlington will even waive your last 6 lease or loan payments. Got a trade? Arlington will pay up to MSRP for your trade. You'll also get no maintenance costs for 4 years. It's the Ghost Your Payments event going on now at Arlington Toyota, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, and online at arlingtontoyota.com. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/October for full detail.
Oh boy, Buddy, the Buddy Holly story is back and it's better than ever. This show will have you dancing in the aisles. Don't miss Buddy.
Tomorrow at the Florida Theater. Tickets on sale at floridatheater.com.
Winning is in the cards at Best Bet St. Augustine, the only card room and sports bar in St. Augustine, Florida. With nonstop action, poker games of all limits, and a sports bar, Best Bet St. Augustine has you covered. Play in the $60 no-limit hold'em tournaments on Wednesdays and Thursdays. Or try our game tables like 1-card poker, 3-card poker, and Ultimate Texas Hold'em. You can also watch your favorite football games with the NFL Sunday Ticket at our sports bar. Visit Best Bet St. Augustine, located at 800 Marketplace Drive in St. Augustine, Florida.
Ready to swoop in the fall of 2022? The UNF Ospreys are ready with a lot of momentum on campus. New improvements at UNF Arena with basketball season right around the corner and tickets already on sale. The fall schedule underway in volleyball and men's and women's soccer, also men's and women's cross country. Get the latest news, schedules, results, and information on tickets for all things Ospreys at UNFOspreys.com. Join the Osprey Club, attend a game or a match. Be a part of the momentum at the University of North Florida right now at UNFOspreys.com.
Hey guys, this is Keenan Thompson. I have a problem with you. Yes, you. None of y'all told me that AutoTrader has millions of new and used cars that I can shop from home. I thought we were friends. I put smiles on your face, but I'm not smiling. No one told me that with AutoTrader, a dealer can deliver cars to my home or that I could shop by price on AutoTrader. No one. Consider this friendship that you just learned we had officially over. Finally, it's easy. AutoTrader.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. When the prospect of divorce becomes a reality, you need a partner that you can count on. If you're a man in this situation, consider contacting Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men navigate complex legal matters for 30 years.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Jacksonville area attorneys. Offices in Jacksonville and by appointment only in Ponte Vedra Beach. Online at CordellCordell.com. Lisa Cargis, Florida resident partner. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only.
When the forgotten poor are in need of healing, they wait for a ship unlike any other.
Mercy Ships, a floating hospital staffed by volunteers, heroes of mercy who donate their time to save lives.
Every human has the right to have a place at the table of the human race.
If you could just see the smiles that you get when lives have been changed, then it would make it all worth it.
To learn more about Heroes of Mercy, go to mercyships.org.
If you play a sport or coach a sport or watch a sport in Jacksonville, there's a really good chance that uniform was ordered through Baker Sports. Look good, feel good, play good. Custom sports apparel at Baker Sports since 1997 and a staff that wants to help you. They are experts in the business and make outfitting your team a seamless endeavor. The homegrown Jacksonville business is now the top choice for apparel all over the Southeast. Baker Sports, uniforms, hats, shoes, embroidery, screen printing, and 3D printing. They do it all at Baker Sports, helping make your team look good. Hey, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jacks. Did you know you can watch our radio show? Yeah, video of a radio show. Just search ESPN 690 Jacks on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Or follow me on Twitter at Brent A.S. Jacks. Watch the show live weekdays from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. or listen on ESPN 690.
Hey, what's happening? We're back live at Tivoli's House of Cards here on ESPN 690. I just realized my light went out, so it might have got a little darker here at Tivoli's House of Cards.
That did happen. I was wondering what happened to you.
Did that happen like just now? I think it did.
Yeah, we were having a conversation before you stood up and did your thing, and then you came back, and I was like, what happened to Brent?
I was kind of stretching it out. I was wondering if I had charged the battery enough, but hey, we turned this into just a little darker mood here at Tivoli's House of Cards.
There you go.
As we get a little into the nighttime hour.
Let me see if I still have that Austin slam poetry music.
That's good. Yeah. Gosh, whatever happened to slam poetry? Brent Martineau along with Casey Kurtz. Aaron Schachter will be back with us later in the week. He has not left the show. Austin has, but he has not. It's okay. I can say that, Casey. Don't chuckle like that. Yeah, that was a chuckle like, I'm not sure you should have just said that.
Yeah,
but I did.
That was we're finally comfortable, like talking about this type of stuff out loud. It's great. We still love Austin.
You know what I'm comfortable doing? Talking to Joey Wiles, former St. Augustine coach, now down at Flagler in administration role. And he joins us right now and was listening to the show and said, hey, let's jump on and talk a little bit about this Tony Baselli event we got coming on in November. And I said, heck of an idea because we love talking to Joey Wiles. What's happening, man?
Hey, Brent. So good to see you. It was great to run into you at Flagler. And as always, you know, you're walking down the sidewalk and there's people coming out going, man, I know you. And said, boy, he's the most famous guy around here in Jacksonville. So it was great seeing you, Brent.
Yeah, it was great to see you, too. Good catching up. Tell us about what you guys have going on with Tony Baselli. Obviously, it's such a big Baselli year. It's a year of Tony, and you guys are kind of being a part of that as well, coming up in November, but other people have a chance to get involved too.
Yeah, well, wow, we were blessed that Tony decided to come on and help us. And what we've got going on, we've got we call it the Crimson and Gold. So we have a banquet on November 17th, and we're having it at the Embassy Suites on the beach side in St. Augustine this year. And the following day, we have a golf tournament out at the World Golf Village. So we have kind of two events going on. But Tony was very grateful. He's going to come be our kind of guest speaker, and we're not going to do kind of a speaker deal. I'm going to kind of throw some questions at him, so it'll really be a fun event. But all of the proceeds go to student athletes, and at Flagler we're a Division II school. School's about 38,000, and the average athlete here gets about 9,000. So they're having to pay $29,000 to come to school and be an athlete. 40% of them don't get any money at all. So this is a big event for us. And Tony's been great as far as, you know, telling us he's going to come down and help raise money for these kids.
Crimson and Gold Banquet coming up on November 17th, and obviously that's about a month away now. Tony Baselli will be the keynote speaker there. Now, is there any truth to the rumor he would just do that because it had a little bit of crimson and gold, kind of the colors from USC in there?
A little bit. I'll tell you what, I love the Jags, and I really love the kind of the early years, Mark Brunell and Coach Coughlin. And so when Mark Brunell had spoken at our Crimson Gold a few years back, so I ended up calling him. I said, Mark, is there any chance you think Tony might come and speak? And he said, well, I'll tell you what, I'll call him and get back to you. Well, be honest, I really didn't think I'd hear back from him. But he called back and said, hey, I think Tony might do it for you. So that's how we got Tony.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. And another kind of cool thing, Tony used to do a thing where they had the most valuable teacher, where they had a coach and a teacher, and they selected 3, and then they kind of went around the schools with a committee and watched you teach. And so I was actually one of the 3 finalists. Now, I got beat out by the volleyball coach at Bishop Kenny, because I'm sure she was a much better teacher than I was. But so I had some early relations with Tony. I'm sure he doesn't remember me, but so we kind of went back a little ways there.
That's awesome. Joey Wiles with us, who's now down at Flagler, but longtime coach at St. Augustine High School, and just an unbelievable job did at St. Augustine. And how much do you miss the coaching ranks? And now you're in this phase of it. I know you always talked about and flirted with going back. You miss those Friday nights, or have you finally settled into, hey, at least I don't have to deal with the parents and the pressures of it?
well, Brent, I still talk to a lot of the coaches. Sean McIntyre, close friend, Brian Braddock, close friend. So there's a lot of guys I still talk to, and kind of the climate has changed a lot. I know when I left in 2016, the internet and all that stuff was not big, and you didn't have people attacking you on Instagram and Facebook and all that. So I don't from that standpoint, I don't miss it. I do miss the Friday nights, I have to admit that, but the daily grind, I'll tell you what, it's a lot easier what I'm doing now, where you can, you go out and visit people and you're not stuck in a classroom all day. So
yeah, that's good stuff. Well, you're good at both, and we love hearing from you, Joey Wiles, former St. Augustine coach, now still down in St. Augustine at Flagler College. And what's the best Crimson and Gold event, the banquet on November 17th? What's the best way to get involved? And do you want people being down there and involved, or just want folks to know about it?
Yeah, I think the big thing, you can go on FlaglerAthletics.com. You can go on our website, and it will give you ways if you want to purchase tickets. If there's businesses out there, you can purchase tables. If anybody wants to go online and contact me and wants to do any sponsorships, they can go on FlaglerAthletics.com and go to staff, and I'll be on there, and they can email me. So yeah, we're doing pretty well on our sponsorships, but obviously you know how it is. The more money you raise for kids, the better off. But yeah, other than that, we're pretty happy. If there's golfers out there that want to golf, we're starting to get full there, so they might want to get in touch with me, as soon as they can.
All right, Joey Wiles, we will share the word, and it's out there on social media now as well. You can see it. Tony, by the way, like I said, it's a year of Tony Baselli. Get to see him in a different venue, and you run into Tony on a lot of different things, but this is another opportunity on the calendar here in 2022 to get to the Hall of Famer, Tony Baselli. That'll be November 17th down at Flagler College in St. Augustine. Joey, great catching up, man. Thanks for jumping in for a few minutes, and good luck with the event.
Hey, same with you, Brent, and always, we've always been grateful at St. Augustine High for the way you covered us, and just thank you so much for your friendship over the years as well.
You bet, Joey. Thank you, man. Have a great day. Once again, the Crimson and Gold Banquet for Flagler College. Check it out on their website and get to spend an evening with Tony Baselli or play some golf the next day down in St. Augustine. Casey, Joey Wiles introduced me to a thing called burning of the shoes. So they would do this before their last football game.
Okay.
Each year. It's one of the most incredible things I've ever covered in my career.
Really?
So they would.
I feel like you told me about this a little bit last year.
We would go down and cover it every year. It was so good. You have so many different kids and backgrounds in St. Augustine, so I think it was the perfect place to do it. But they would literally throw their shoes in a burning fire pit. The seniors would. But before they did, they would tell a story or two about their time at St. Augustine. And we would go to this event, and these kids, unbelievable, the heartfelt stories they would tell, the tears that were flowing, the laughter. It was just an amazing thing. It's one of the best things I've ever covered. I'd never seen anything like it. And they do it every year down at St. Augustine. And now others, I think, have picked it up around the area as well. And Joey will tell you he borrowed it from somebody else that he had seen it from. So it really was cool, and that's how I got to know Joey even better, and one of the great coaches that we've had now over the last few decades, at least in the Jacksonville area. All right, we got to go football at 5. When we come back, we talk more Jags. I've got some questions, and also about some of these young quarterbacks in the NFL when we come back on ESPN 690.
It's where I take my family to play golf, and you can take yours as well. The Golf Club at Southampton. It's the home of the Action Sports Jax Stream 18, and it can be your golf destination. Enjoy your golf experience by calling 287-PLAY, 287-PLAY. Play some golf or maybe practice some golf at one of the newest facilities in the area. Grab some lunch or dinner, too. Southampton has it all. 287-PLAY for tee times and more. The Golf Club at Southampton, the home of the Dream 18. My home course. Make it your home course, too.
Hi, I'm Mike Combs, professional contractor and TV host. I love helping people, but when it came to improving the water in my own home, I needed help and turned to the water experts at Connecticut to make it right. My water was causing visible problems throughout my home, and it got me thinking about the problems I couldn't see. Protecting my water-using appliances and pipes, preventing stains and hardness buildup, and having clean, great-tasting drinking water are all important to me. But choosing the right water treatment equipment can be tricky. That's where Connecticut comes in. A Connecticut water expert will test your water for free and recommend the system that fits your needs and budget. Improve the quality of your water and your life with the Connecticut water treatment system. I'm so glad I did.
This year, CGC Water Treatment is celebrating 75 years in business. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com for your free assessment. CGC Water Treatment are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Connecticut dealer.
Florida license number CFC 1428211.
Hey everybody, it's Brent Mortno from Brent Friends on ESPN 690. Tune into our high-energy, multi-platform show Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. on ESPN 690 and a variety of video streaming platforms as well. As the seasons change, so do the sports topics. It's football season now, and we're bringing you all things sports weekdays from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. And you can tailgate with us at the Duval House for every Sunday home game this football season. Fueled by Celsius Essential Energy. Live fit. Buying or leasing a car in Jacksonville is the best with Fields Auto Group, Jacksonville's luxury auto group. Lexus of Jacksonville and Orange Park, Mercedes-Benz of Jacksonville, Orange Park, Jaguar Land Rover, Jacksonville, Porsche, Jacksonville, Fields Cadillac, Jacksonville, and St. Augustine. If the luxury car you want isn't in stock, Fields Auto Group will order it. And at Fields, you'll never be charged over sticker price. Stop by a Fields store today and see what world-class service really means. Fields is a proud sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Fields Auto Group, fieldsauto.com.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Guardians righty Aaron Savali didn't get off to the greatest start in the winner-take-all Game 5 of the ALDS against the Yankees. He walked the first batter he faced, Gleyber Torres, on 4 pitches. 2 batters later, he hit Anthony Rizzo. That meant 2 men on for Giancarlo Stanton.
The 2-0 to Stanton, and a swing and a line drive, right center field. Long run, Gonzalez. It is gone! Into right center field by Giancarlo Stanton. And the Yankees 3-0 lead here in the first inning.
Dan Shulman on ESPN Radio. Savali didn't even make it out of the first inning. Aaron Judge has added a solo shot. New York's up 4-0 on Cleveland, top of the third. At the NFL owners' meetings today, interesting comments from Colts owner Jim Irsay. Said he thinks there's merit to removing Dan Snyder as owner of the Commanders. Added they have to finish the investigation. Believes it's a road The NFL has to go down. It is in the best interests of the league. Snyder is the subject of ongoing investigations by both Congress as well as the NFL.
Fall into a hiring spree with Indeed. Their end-to-end hiring solution makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates. Sponsor a job and instantly receive a short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 690 and Action Sports Shacks presents Brent and Friends with Brent Martineau.
We're going to have to show a little more patience than the year 2 pom-pom people.
Casey Kurtz.
Yo! Well, what are we doing, bro? Come on!
And Aaron Schachter.
I'm all in favor of these two showing their love, really celebrating their relationship.
Get him! Get him! Get him! Hit him! Hit him! Yeah! This is Brent and Friends with Brent Martineau, Casey Kurtz, and Aaron Schachter on Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio, ESPN 690.
I just got a cramp in my foot. How often does that happen?
Often, bro. Happens to me all the time, but I haven't drank water in like 6 days.
Golly, that's weird. It's like in a weird spot, too, in my foot. I don't understand this.
If you're listening on the radio, that was real life right there, because me and Brent were having a conversation all the way up until like seconds ago, and I didn't hear about the foot cramp. So it had just come on in that moment.
Yeah, it just
Incredible.
happened, like right in that moment. So I had to tell
Wow.
everybody. Sometimes you just got to share what's going on. Not all the time you can share what's going on, but this time I figured a foot cramp was safe.
Yeah, you can get the foot cramp in there.
What a week. It's only Tuesday.
It's only Tuesday at 5.
Yeah. Gosh, I tell you what, these first 2 days of the week take a long time. We start early, right? 8 a.m., Monday Morning Madness.
Who are you telling?
3 o'clock. We got Mojo. 4 o'clock with Rasheed Matz. We're all fired up for it, right? I mean, we got football at 5 on Monday. We're talking a lot of Jags, NFL, and we go overtime, and then we got Jags Report Live. By the way, Evan Ingram, fantastic last night on Jags Report Live.
Yeah.
Hitting a home run with the guests on Jags Report Live
They
and
really
Jaguars All Access. The guys are they're really good. Really good. I didn't know what to expect out of Evan Ingram because he can be kind of quiet in the locker room.
Mm-hmm.
He was terrific.
It's good.
And
Awesome.
It feels like he had a good time, too. I like when the guys seem like they had a good time on the show. And that's even after a loss. As we said to him, it's a good thing you don't play defense.
True. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't really his fault. I'll give you that.
That wouldn't have been as fun.
And I can't imagine that in his previous stop in New York, if he would have been on a TV show the day after a loss, it would have been as fun, right? At least he had old television's Brent Martineau and some other guy there to keep him company.
Yeah, listen, I don't think the dynamic between the Bostons, New York, and Phillies and everybody else is as wide and crazy as a lot of people like to say. But I will certainly admit, because I've worked in the media in New England, been around it quite a bit in New York when I was up in Albany, not like in the middle, but at times, and obviously been here. And there is a difference. And so I think about it sometimes from a player perspective, like Ingram, who did have some tough times in New York, and they got after him because they'll get after you. And I think people get after you anyway because social media now. So it's not just like the media; it's everybody.
It's worse.
Right?
It might be worse on social media.
Absolutely, it is.
Because we're
look
not
at
going
Shaq Griffin. I tweeted out his video, and I hope he doesn't read any of it. You know?
Yeah.
I mean,
your replies. Yeah,
the replies are unbelievable.
No, it's so bad. But to that point, if I'm going to interview Evan Ingram, first of all, I wouldn't even think about saying these things to him on social media either. But if you have to square up with Evan Ingram, where he's 8 feet taller than you and significantly bigger, you're not going to say anything like that. So even the media, they're going to ask the tough questions, okay? But social media, you're just saying reckless things that you would never say to anybody in person. It's so weird.
The thing about Evan Ingram, too, is he is bigger than you think he is. You know, I don't think he comes across that big watching him on the field.
No, I think he's huge.
But I think they're all big. That's why.
I've seen.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think every time they've ran the tight end screen and he's near the receivers because the receivers are blocking for him, I'm like, oh, he's massive. I get that vibe.
Do me a favor to look up his numbers this year. 24 catches. Does that sound right? I think it will. Evan Ingram, we did this last night. I think he has, I want to say 64, maybe it's 65 catches is his career high in the NFL. We're going back to some of the college days, too. But when he came into this year, we knew that Evan Ingram
64 is the career high, yeah.
Had a chance to eclipse that, right? We wondered, how good could he be in Doug's offense? I would say this, the tight end has not been featured as much as I thought it would be in Doug's offense so far.
I agree with that. Yeah, I thought, here's the thing, it's not, again, he hasn't done anything, he hasn't played bad. I just thought there'd be more targets, but to that point, like, you got so many targets to go around, and you got to run the football now. Trevor's got to run a little bit, so just, I guess the volume's not there, but yeah, I thought there'd be more targets. I definitely thought he would have scored by now, and he didn't even have an opportunity, really.
Well, actually, he did on the game winner. It was funny last night because we went through the game winner, and he's like, yeah, he threw it to me every time in practice this week.
Oh, right.
Well, but then he did a great job. Like, if you get a chance, I think we'll have this up on our Action Sports Jacks if we don't already. All our folks are kind of busy getting ready for Florida, Georgia, too. But we'll try to put it up. And if you missed the show, he is explaining that touchdown. And this is where he's really good. And he said, every time in practice, Trevor threw it to me. And but he said he made a really good decision because he squared his shoulders up like he was throwing it to me, and everybody bid on it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And then he found and went back to Kirk. But it was just funny to watch him there. He's like, yeah, that was supposed to be mine.
Gotta appreciate it.
So he almost got on the board that way. But what does he have? 24 catches this year?
24 for 208.
So that does that project out to be? That would be 48.72 for like 6 something. I guess he's catching a lot of these little bubble screenish kind of things, right?
Yeah, he is. I still think so. In terms of career numbers, ironically, his best season was his first one with 64 and 722 and 6 touchdowns. That's his where he's been the highlight of his career. Even 208 at this point in time, it wouldn't shock me if he gets to 800 yards, 900 yards, to be honest, Brent, because I think there's going to be the game. I think Evan Ingram will get his chance. Like Zay Jones had a chance. Marvin Jones had a game. I think Evan Ingram's going to have 1 or 2 games where he's over 100 yards and a touchdown. Hopefully more than 2, but I still believe that's going to happen because it just seems like that's what the Jags have done. They're finding their feature guy every game, and I think Evan Ingram's is coming pretty soon, maybe even this week against his old team.
Well, he did. I think it was Houston, right? I think he had 6 catches against Houston. And so it's been interesting. Your point right there, you've had Kirk, who was super consistent, 666. And then where'd he go? And he kind of has even 3 in a row, really. But he catches the big one, so you don't really care about it from an offensive perspective. But still, it's only like 4 targets to Christian Kirk. It doesn't seem to make sense. Marvin Jones has the big day, but outside of that, he's been very 2-3 catches kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Zay Jones has the big day, misses another game, and then on the go-to drive, like he hit him a couple of times, and that was big. But it's really weird, right? Like there's no consistency to your point. They keep hitting other players and getting them involved. It was James Robinson, then it's Travis Etienne. Now it's a little bit of both. And it's kind of hard to pinpoint what the Jags are trying to do from a go-to situation. And I guess that makes them a little bit more difficult to defend. But right now you're also probably not afraid of one particular player because they're not going there. And Ingram's interesting in that they seem like they're going there more in the last couple of weeks. It's 6 catches and 4 catches or something like that. I would think he's going to eclipse his 64 catch mark, and he's on pace to do that. Mm-hmm. But I also wouldn't be surprised, to your point, to see an 8 to 10 catch game from him.
Yeah, he's going to pop, guaranteed.
But I'll say this, just to piggyback what I started with, I thought they'd use the tight end a lot more, like down the seams. You know the catch he made against Houston actually over the middle? Mm-hmm. That's where I thought they'd do that a bit more. Or in those little honey hole spots, just outside the numbers. I haven't seen that as much as I thought. You know me, I'm a big Dan Arnold guy. Arnold's like hardly getting attention. They'll hit Farrell. They did that the other day, but they also token throw to Manhurts a couple of times against Houston.
Manhurts seems like is involved more than I expected.
Well, he's
not a lot, but
he's way more involved in the run game too. He probably doesn't get enough. He probably is one of the stars of the team, and nobody will talk about it, right? Because we don't see that.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, real quick. If I don't recommend talking smack to anybody on social media except like me or Brent, especially Brent. But listen, don't ever talk smack to Chris Manhurts. That's like the biggest human I've ever seen.
Yeah, he's pretty well put together.
Yep. Sorry, I just had to get that out. I'm still in awe about that. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, he is. He is well put together. So, but you know what I'm getting at? Like, are they going to turn it up a notch in terms of their tight end usage? And I agree with you. Like, I could see 70 catches from Ingram, but I would like to see him closer to 800 yards. And he bet on himself this year.
Yeah.
I think he's got to get to, well, you got to get 3, 4, 5 touchdowns. Like, that's, like, what's the contract that's making him a ton of money?
Yeah.
He's not on pace to catch 85 balls.
No, and the touchdowns aren't there either. I think, but here's the thing with the tight end position. There are a lot of good ones right now, but at the same time, if you don't have one, you don't have one. So, you know, there are teams that would pay him, I think, but I'm telling you, I'm not even worried. Like, I'm surprised he hasn't been used more, but truly, I think he'll get to the numbers. I think he'll get paid. I think he's been good enough to say, you know what, I want him to be here. You know, I don't want him to, like, break the bank and pay him a ton, but, you know, if they can find a way to keep him, I'd be in favor of that, again, 6 games in. But still, I like what he's done, and I think it's coming. He'll get his chance. I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. By the way, I'm not criticizing him. I think I almost want more. Like, again, I feel this way with a lot of what the Jags have. I want more of it. I want more Evan Ingram. I want more Christian Kirk. I want more Zay Jones at times. Heck, I wanted more Jamal Agnew for a bit there, and I don't know where his knee is right now. We want more Travis Etienne. We want more James Robinson. Like, I guess that's a good thing.
Yeah.
That you've seen some things, but you want to see him featured even more.
Agreed. By the way, just on the Ingram thing, I don't know, since we put everything in fantasy terms, he's the 17th best tight end right now in fantasy. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Like, and by the way, like, I would play Ingram for the one game that he pops like crazy, to your point.
Oh, I play him every week just hoping.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
because he's got that potential, number one, for his skill set and as a player, but with Doug. And I guess that's kind of, I didn't, this was more of an organic topic today, but I thought Doug would utilize the tight end even more than he's doing. And that's not really a criticism. I think he's done it fine, more than we've seen.
Yeah.
To his point, to his defense, more than we've seen. Everything's relative, and Doug's doing everything better than it's been done over the last couple of years. But I just thought it would be even like eye-popping, like, look at the tight end, look at the tight end, look at the tight end. Another throw to Arnold, another throw to Ingram. Oh, they're mixing in Farrell and Manhurts, you know? And it's not really like that. The biggest surprise to me is Arnold. I thought he would – I figured he could be a matchup problem. And I know he likes him. I think Doug Peterson likes him. So, but getting him on the field with all these other players that we're talking about, getting him the football has not been easy.
No, it hasn't. This would probably be a tougher stat to look up. Wonder when the Jags, the last time they had a tight end finish the season in the top 15 in fantasy. I wonder if it's ever happened.
You'd have to go.
Like, did Mercedes ever have a huge touchdown season? I don't know the catch.
2010. So
All right.
2010, he had the big year.
But that's like the
Pro Bowl
only
year.
even.
So that would be the only one to look up.
Yeah.
Because Julius Thomas was a flop.
Right. Yeah.
And
So,
it
like,
didn't work.
To that point, like 17. You know, right now, 6 weeks in, 17 tight end in fantasy again.
That's pretty good.
You know,
Yeah.
it's not bad. And the last 2 weeks have been for fantasy good. I mean, you're right there in the middle because there's a lot of tight ends you need the touchdown, right? You're depending on them to have the one catch for 6 yards and a touchdown. Evan Ingram's not that guy because you're going to get 4 to 6 catches, hopefully the yards, and then you get a touchdown. Like, he's the one that could really pop you. To your point, you play him because at some point he's having 8 catches for 86 and a touchdown, and then you're winning because of your tight end.
All right. You know what's weird?
Yeah.
All the metrics on the Jags say they're like a 4-2 team.
Yeah,
you know, they're like top 15 in offense. They're top 10 in defense, points allowed, yards. I think I just saw another stat. I mean, if you flip through Twitter, you'll see another stat. Pro Football Focus, whatever it might be. Let's see, Jordan DeLugo.
We'll talk to him on Thursday.
He just said, yes, he'll be with us on Thursday. He just said 3.6 yards per carry, just 89 yards per game against the run this year for the Jags defense. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I saw another stat today, which kind of didn't make sense, but I did see it, that they are like number 1 in the NFL on win rate in pass rush.
Really?
Like, there's a lot of different numbers, right? I don't even know what that one fully means. But, you know, even against Matt Ryan, the Pro Football Focus numbers came out to say that they had 20 pressures and like 6 or 8 quarterback hits.
Really?
So
Didn't feel like it.
I know. It doesn't feel like it, right? And But I will say this. It does feel like the Jags are better than 2-4.
I'll give you that.
Like the eye test tells me they're a better team than 2-4. I get it. You are at your record, all that stuff. Like, but I don't know what it means is what I'm getting at. Like, I'm not trying to sell you on anything. I just don't know what it means. Like, are the Jags going to be one of those teams? Because I think this does happen. Maybe not every year in the NFL, but it does happen from time to time where they're like an enigma. They're dangerous. They're pretty good. There's a lot to like. But for some odd reason, they don't win football games. They get bad luck or they mess up or whatever. They don't win. I think it happened. I can't even give you a recent example, but I feel like we've had those conversations like, man, I thought their record seems like they should be way better.
Mm-hmm.
They might be that team this year, which would be so Jags. But that could happen. But on the flip side of it, it's like, man, there's a lot to – if you want to defend this organization, if you're in my Sunshine and Rainbows Club, if you want to defend where the Jags are going, you've got material. Like, there's things to defend.
There are.
And there's concrete evidence and numbers to support.
We'll see how that rushing stat looks next week, though.
You got Saquon. They've got a little bit they've really been in a tough running back month.
Yeah, here's what's
now they got lucky with no Jonathan Taylor.
Well, they did. And here's what's crazy about the Jonathan Taylor thing. This just
maybe it should have been better if he was playing.
Well, that's true. There's a chance that we don't have to talk about Jonathan Taylor for 365 days plus because they're done with him this year and they might not play him until back half the season next year. Isn't that wild?
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point.
Like, they're done with him so early.
Am I wrong with what I just said, though? The Jags would have won that game if Jonathan Taylor played.
Like, I get
think
it.
They would have.
I get it. I understand, but I don't know. I can't co-sign that. But I think they would have a better chance, to your point, because they would have made an effort to get him the ball more.
Well, absolutely. 58 of those passes.
Well, yeah, but if they saw my man's Matt Ryan was cooking, they were like, hey, you know what? Forget about it.
Yeah, but they wouldn't have come out like that. They came out in a hurry-up offense. They would have controlled the clock. They wouldn't have done that. They had no confidence to do that. They didn't. I'm not even sure we should give them all the credit in terms of the coaches. They didn't have another choice. Like, they couldn't sit there and give it to the running back, the third-string running back, with the offensive line that hasn't been doing anything.
No.
They couldn't just sit there and let Matt Ryan just drop back and pass all the time without mixing it up. Quick game, crossing routes, and up-tempo offense to start the game. Like, they had to do all those things, Casey. Like, the up-tempo offense is usually a fire starter, like, in the third quarter for an offense that's not doing anything. They were like, we're coming right out of the gates with it.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I disagree with that point because I think they come out the same way, or the Jonathan Taylor point. Like, I don't know. I think they come out the exact same way they did in that game because in the first time the Jags played them, Jonathan Taylor did nothing, and their offensive line is trash right now. So I think that Frank Reich would have came out the same way with the quick passing. Sure, he probably would have touched it more, but I think they should have at least came out with that same game plan because the last time they tried to run Jonathan Taylor, it didn't work, and Jonathan Taylor is not having a good year. I know he's been hurt. He's missed 2 games. He's had 1 good game so far because I drafted him first in fantasy. My team's 1-5. I'm like, bruh, please, somebody, anybody, do anything.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, he hasn't been
My boys
great.
suck.
People have slowed him down. Don't play the music yet. I want to go on to another topic before we end this segment.
Okay.
Cyrus says 2-4. Who cares? 2 winning seasons since I was in 4th grade. All I've heard my whole life is improvement.
Well.
So I said to Cyrus, I was like, hey, you got plenty of time, man. If you remember when you were in 4th grade and they were talking about it, you've got plenty of time.
You got plenty of time.
That probably makes Cyrus about, I don't know, early 20s. See if I can tell with the picture.
I'm right there with you. On that point, also, Chris on YouTube, Jags are better than their record. We will start winning games. Believe on the Jags. So optimism in the chat.
Yeah, and Dan says tells me they're missing 1 or 2 guys that play above the stat line, and I think that's probably true. We know the Jags aren't fully there yet. And the metrics can fool you a bit. But I'm trying to think. The reason why I'm hesitating here is, okay, what spot would they be playing above the stat line in? I mean, overall, Josh Allen's 6 games have been pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Trayvon Walker's probably been more inconsistent, not as good. Devin Lloyd's been pretty good over 6 games. Was not good the other day. Same with Foye Oluokun, but overall they've been pretty good. The Jags secondary actually overall has been pretty good. Wasn't the other day. Well, shouldn't say not. I got to keep Tyson Campbell out of this conversation because he's been good and he was good.
Yes.
Their run defense has been good. Their wide receivers, I think, overall have been good, a little inconsistent, I think you could criticize. Their offense in general is scoring 23 points a game, and that's with a 6-point, anomaly of 422 yards and no touchdowns. So their running backs have played well, again, in the 6-game sample.
Mm-hmm.
Their offensive line, I think, overall has been pretty good. 6 games, 10 sacks. A couple of those on Trevor.
Yeah.
They're opening up holes. So, I get what Dan's saying there, and he's probably right. I'm trying to think, where? Where are you playing? Well, first of all, they win the Houston game most likely if Trevor doesn't throw the 2nd and 1 pick. It was just a catastrophic play. And then also Trayvon was a catastrophic play. So they had 2 catastrophic plays in that game. That absolutely cost them the football game.
Yes.
This time around, I don't know if the metrics can fully support how bad they played on defense. Even 42 out of 58 doesn't do it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, what was it, 380 yards passing? Guys have 380-yard passing days. That's a lot. But they only gave up 42 rushing. So the numbers are not going to look as what happened? Offensively, they didn't turn the ball over. So it's more like in those 2 instances, and you could count Washington probably, but these 2 games, literally 2 plays, and I think just 1, because I think if Trevor throws a touchdown, I don't think the Trayvon thing even becomes a thing. They probably beat him and pick off Mills or something in that game.
Nice.
But those 2 plays, and then just the inability to make a stop against the Colts changes both those outcomes, flips everything to 4-2. The stats would probably be just about the same. Right? You get 1 stop on defense. Remember when they fumbled the football? Indy did?
Yes.
I forget who knocked it loose. I think it was Tyson Campbell, and they couldn't recover.
Yeah.
So say they recover, but they were moving up and down the field, but they recover. They don't go in there. So they recover that football. So I'll give you 1 stop there. That's it. And then I'll give you Trevor's pick and Trayvon's bad penalty against Houston. 3 plays. Doesn't change the stats much at all from a metric standpoint. And the Jags are 4-2.
Yeah.
So that's and maybe Dan's trying to say that too, but that's how close it is for the Jags. And we can't go back and play it out exactly, but I think we have a good feel. I think most people would say, yeah, Brent, you're probably right. They make those 2 plays in Houston, Jags win. They've recovered that fumble. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Probably end up winning, 27-23 or something.
There you go. Yeah.
Whatever it is, I don't know. So. Or maybe it would have been 26 eventually. I don't know. But that's how close it is right now. And so that's why the Jags look good. They just haven't made enough winning plays. And they've really made what I call losing plays. Everybody talks about the 3-4 plays in a game. Well, the 3-4 plays you got to go make. I get it. Well, Trevor made it. Trevor made one of those 3-4 plays in the comeback drive. But I call them losing plays because you can't make these catastrophic errors. And that's what the Jags have done so far. And that's why the numbers are skewed. All right, I was going to talk about the owner's stuff with Jim Irsay and Snyder, but we'll do that on the other side. Let's take a break. We're live at Tivoli's House of Cards. Brent Martineau, Casey Kurtz, Brent and Friends. Been a big week so far. We've had Maurice Jones-Drew. We've had Rasheed Mathis. We always do on Mondays. Blake Bortles joins us today. Tomorrow will be Clay Harbor in the 4 o'clock hour on ESPN 690 as well. So you know where to go for football talk and conversation. It's right here on ESPN 690. Back from Tivoli's House of Cards coming up right after this in St. Johns County. And don't forget 6 o'clock overtime with Kurtz and Middleton on the docket today as well on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690. A very cool night tonight under clear skies. Will drop into the lower 40s near record lows by morning, so a sweater or a jacket to start your Wednesday. Otherwise, mostly sunny and breezy with highs tomorrow in the afternoon reaching the upper 60s. From the CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News, Jack's First Alert Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds. Save thousands on buy one, get one on wedding bands now through October 23rd.
Hey, this is Bruce.
And I'm Carrie.
We're the owners of Koala Insulation. Fall is finally here, and hopefully so are milder temperatures. But don't wait to insulate your home. Take advantage of 20% savings off our summer rates and start saving on those utility bills now and all those hot summers to come.
Give us a call and set up your free evaluation at 679-6282 or find us online at koalainsulation.com.
Yo, Pablo Torre here, host of the ESPN Daily Podcast. When you want to go beyond your feed, when you want to get inside the score, when you want to get behind the highlight, there's ESPN Daily. Go deeper into the stories of the moment. Get the exclusive access and insider perspective that only ESPN can give you. ESPN Daily, hosted by me, Pablo Torre. Listen and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
O'Reilly. Protect your vehicle's engine with Syntec and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec Premium Full Synthetic Motor Oil is formulated for today's engines to dissipate heat and reduce friction and wear. Right now, get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select Oil Filter for just $33.99. Try Syntec today, exclusively at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Hey, poker players! Best Bet Jacksonville has another exciting poker tournament series for you. The Card Player Poker Tour is coming to Best Bet Jacksonville from October 27th to November 14th. This tournament series is packed with excitement and features 15 different poker tournaments, including a $1,700 mystery bounty event with bounties ranging from $500 up to $50,000, and the $3,000 no-limit hold'em main event from November 11th to the 14th. Go to bestbetjacks.com to view the tournament schedule.
Hey everybody, it's Brent Mortno from Brent Friends on ESPN 690. Tune into our high-energy, multi-platform show Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. on ESPN 690 and a variety of video streaming platforms as well. As the seasons change, so do the sports topics. It's football season now, and we're bringing you all things sports weekdays from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. And you can tailgate with us at the Duval House for every Sunday home game this football season. Fueled by Celsius Essential Energy. Live fit.
If you or someone you know is a post-9/11 veteran looking for direction and purpose in life after military service, Camp Southern Ground is here for you. Warrior Week, our signature veteran-led transition program, will give you the tools and training you need to thrive in work, relationships, life, and family, all at no cost to you. Together, with a community of peers and mentors, we strive to make every day better than the last. Take control and get started today at campsouthernground.org.
It is Trucktober at Nimnik Buick GMC, and now's the time to get into that new GMC Sierra. Hey, I've got one of those, or maybe it's a GMC Canyon, and you had your eyes on it. Now's the time to do it. Nimnik's best price guarantee, 0% APR for well-qualified buyers through the month of October is happening. Stop by the showroom. Visit online, nimnikbuickgmc.com. Also through the month of October, $1,000 bonus cash to all first responders on eligible new Buick and GMC vehicles. Visit nimnikbuickgmc.com for eligibility. GMC, we are professional grade.
On the go, you own it. At Community First Credit Union, you can own it all. There's nobody quite like you. So be yourself and bank your way at Community First. Get free checking with rewards, your paycheck deposited a day early, and other benefits like Zelle. An easy way to pay family and friends for complete control of your money. Go ahead, own it. Add an account at justbeyourself.com. Community First Credit Union. Just be yourself. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
My doctor told me my blood pressure is borderline. I figured I could worry about it or do something about it. So I took control with Garlic Healthy Blood Pressure Formula. It works safely and naturally to help maintain healthy blood pressure with a custom blend of garlic, vitamins, and minerals. And it's odor-free. I'm taking charge with Garlic Healthy Blood Pressure Formula.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The term natural references only the garlic in the product. Use as directed.
Hello, this is Joe Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is a firm that practices family law exclusively. We focus on only one area of the law to maximize our strength and effectiveness as advocates for clients that have everything on the line: their homes, savings, and most importantly, their children. We're the partner our clients count on.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Jacksonville area attorneys. Offices in Jacksonville and by appointment only in Ponte Vedra Beach. Lisa Cargis, Florida resident partner. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only. CordellCordell.com.
This is Loyalty Lab Interview 6. Subject, grandmother's loyalty. Margie, what do you do when your grandson misbehaves?
Angels don't misbehave.
Here we study the most loyal, like you and... Oh, there goes the lamp.
Shouldn't have put it there.
Shell and the Fuel Rewards program has our members' backs too. It's super easy to save on every gallon. Loyal, just like how you acted like that wasn't his fault.
Someone should clean that up before he gets hurt.
Yes, loyal, just like that.
10 years of FR.com. Terms and conditions apply.
When Big Mobile charges you an arm and a leg, they're taking your money and your power. And your arm and leg. Boost Mobile gives your power back with an unlimited plan for $25 a month on one of America's largest 5G networks. We can't give you back your arm and your leg because we're not qualified surgeons. Unless you're an iguana who can grow limbs back. Switch to Boost and get an unlimited plan for $25 a month. Boost Mobile. Unleash your power. New customers only. One line, $25 per month with autopay. Additional restrictions apply. See boostmobile.com for details.
Action Sports Jacks. Watch, listen, subscribe. You can watch us on CBS 47 and Fox 30. You can listen right here on ESPN 690. And you can subscribe to our YouTube and podcast, Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Action Sports Jacks. Watch, listen, subscribe.
Good at all. And honestly, that's the type of scenario that will probably make owners move on something like potentially removing an owner more so than some of the reports that we've seen about the type of behavior that's gone on within the organization. Whether that disgusts you or not, I really do think that when you start to talk about stadiums and fundings and locations and public money versus private, those are the things that these owners take more serious than anything else. And ultimately, it does not feel like it's headed in a great direction when it comes to a new stadium in Washington. And if that continues to be the trend, that's where things will get especially hot for Dan Snyder.
Well, I talked at the owners' meetings about Dan Snyder, the Washington owner, who has come under fire for, a decade at least. Brent Martineau back here at the Boys House of Cards. Casey Kurtz back in the Action Sports Jack studios. Brent Friends on ESPN 690 on a Tuesday. Let us remind you, too, had a conversation with Blake Bortles today on the show at 4 o'clock. You can catch all our content on our Action Sports Jacks podcast. You can also go to the YouTube channel, Action Sports Jacks, and catch all our ESPN coverage and CBS 47 and Fox 30 coverage as well, all in one neat place on our YouTube channel. If you missed any of it, including Maurice Jones-Drew Monday, Rasheed Mathis as well, and Clay Harbor coming up tomorrow on Brent and Friends on ESPN 690. So Daniel Snyder, the owner of the Washington now Commanders, is a guy that many people think the NFL wants to push out from an ownership standpoint with all the problems they've had. It's been awful in Washington. And then recently, there were some reports that he's got a lot of dirt and had private investigators dig into the dirt on owners. So be ready for a battle. So it started to get a little ugly. Well, reports out of the owners' meetings today, and we've got a lot of quotes, so I'm trying to make sure I've got the right ones. Jim Irsay, the Colts owner, on Snyder. Some of the things I've heard doesn't represent us at all. I want the American public to know what we're about as owners. I believe it's the best interest of the National Football League that we look at this squarely in the eyes and deal with it. He goes on to say, I'm very concerned that he needs to be removed. You have to protect the game. You have to protect what we're about. This isn't what we're about. Let's see. I believe there's merit to remove him as owner of the Redskins. I'm going to get to more of these. I mean, the quotes are really good from Jim Irsay. He says, greatly concerning what's happening in Washington, and believes the league could have 24 votes necessary to remove Daniel Snyder. Where's the one that I wanted to catch the one other one? I think I might have read it to you, Casey, but Hang on.
We're hanging, Brent.
I know.
We're hanging on your every word.
There's a lot of people tweeting about it.
Well, it is a big story because it is interesting to hear one of the other owners speak out against them because you don't see that a lot, at least to this many quotes, right? There's a lot of them. Are you talking about the one that says, I believe there is merit in removing him as the owner?
Yeah, that's one. But I think he said, basically, Irsay was asked, well, what about all this stuff that he supposedly has on the owners? And he said, I don't care. He can say what he wants till the cows come home. It needs to happen.
Oh, yes.
Meaning, I don't care if he's got dirt on any of us. He needs to go. You know? So, I mean, and to vocally say that, I think, is pretty significant. I've got some more here. Asked if they'd consider allowing the team to remain in the Snyder family, Irsay said moving the team or selling could be options. There will be no vote on Snyder's status today. Quote, I don't know how long that will take, Irsay said. He wants a thorough investigation. Here's the quote I was looking for. Irsay said he doesn't care if Snyder might have dirt on other owners. Quote, he can investigate me till the cows come home. It's not going to back me off. That was the one I was looking for. So, anyway, I mean, pretty strong stuff from Jim Irsay. And now you've kind of got a little bit of a line in the sand, right? You've got Snyder, who we'll see if he'll publicly say as much as a guy like Irsay will. But there is some thought, I think I've seen recent articles that Jerry Jones is kind of on the side of Snyder and they get along. But I will tell you this, and I believe this, that I don't think other owners, billionaires, want to be around a guy that is smearing the shield at times. This has been endless with Snyder in Washington.
Yeah.
And the Washington Commanders as an organization would be better for it if he would sell the team.
It would.
Because there's no way of coming back from this. Like, Snyder's never going to be fully appreciated or liked, even if they were to come back and win Super Bowls. And, he's really been a bad owner on a lot of different fronts. Spent a ton of money early on, didn't do anything with it, and then has had countless investigations, allegations, articles written about him. I mean, this isn't like an everyday thing in the NFL. It's like an everyday thing in Washington.
Yeah. Correct.
And while you'd like to give credit to the Washington Post, it's not all because of that. It's because of Snyder and the way he runs things.
Yeah, not a world-class operation being ran up there. I think what's interesting about what Irsay said in obviously the last one, and I don't think I'm in the minority here, but I might be. I think that if they want to dig into all the owners, I'm sure that they'll find at least something that is not ideal, not necessarily as bad as what Dan Snyder has been doing, but there's probably something there for everybody that you don't want people to find. So I think the idea that Jim Irsay is like, you know what, I'm going to open up myself for that. Okay, whatever it takes to get this guy out, I think is extremely powerful because, again, you don't have all the owners saying that, but you do have one that's talks more than the others. It seems like outside of Jerry Jones, Jim Irsay tweets and talks a lot. Jim Irsay's out here tweeting out who's going to miss the game for the Colts. So you have a guy that's not afraid to talk and say these things. It is kind of good to hear. We'll see if the other owners follow suit, but I do like the, I guess, upfront role he's taking in this.
Yeah, I mean, Irsay is a guy that, like, heck, he's got a few in him and isn't afraid to be on social media, you know?
Right.
So here's, by the way, we got a latest to this. There's now a rebuttal. I just went by it. Hang on a second. Here it comes. This is from J.P. Finley up there in Washington. And this is a statement from Snyder. Maybe it's a statement from the Commanders, we'll see, or some of his representation. But here's how it goes. It is highly inappropriate, but not surprising, that Mr. Irsay opted to make statements publicly based on falsehoods in the media. It is unfortunate that Mr. Irsay decided to go public with a statement today while an investigation is in process and the team has had no opportunity to formally respond to allegations. The Commanders have made remarkable progress over the past 2 years. We are confident that when he has an opportunity to see the actual evidence in this case, Mr. Irsay will conclude that there is no reason for the Snyders to consider selling the franchise, and they won't. So I think if they're not, like, he is going to dig in on that, right? Well, then they're going to have to force him out.
Yep.
And it will take 24 votes to force him out. And that could be a landmark moment.
That would be wild.
For Washington to do it. Was it a force out with Carolina?
I don't think so.
It was close.
It was close. But I think it was going that way, so they just decided to sell. I think that's how that played out.
Yeah, I think it actually was. It seemed smoother than taking a vote on it and the rest of it, right? So, speaking of league business, real quick, the Tennessee Titans obviously announced the stadium's coming soon.
Yeah, what in the world?
I saw your tweet about another dome stadium.
Yeah, man, that thing was popping off. No followers, but a few likes. It's okay. We're working on it.
It's popping off.
Yeah, man, like 23 likes. Here's the thing.
Would you want a dome?
Yeah. Some sort of something, bro. It's hot. Not today,
It is
but
hot.
it's toasty now. Sunday's probably going to be pretty nice, though, so I'm with that. I don't understand how Houston, Indy, and now Tennessee all have the ability to play inside, and in Jacksonville, Florida, we have to play outside. I don't get it.
Yeah, I'm actually, and I don't think this happened. Like, I don't know which way they're going to end up going. Well, listen, this is going to be a renovation. At least that's the way it's going to be pitched, and that's what everybody has been talking about and planning on. And, I mean, how soon that ball starts to roll, I would think it's right around the corner. So this is totally different from this renovation talking about new stadium, and in Tennessee they're talking new stadium. I don't see a dome stadium coming to Jacksonville. I really don't know if I need one or want one. I like the way L.A. is, and you've been out there now, Casey.
Yeah.
I like the open-air nature of that. I really like that. I think it's kind of cool.
L.A.'s cool, 100%.
And I think you could get away with that. Now, it might still be hot at times, but between some of the shaded roof, but not domed roof,
yes,
I think would be kind of neat in Jacksonville. So, but again, I think I've had this discussion. I don't know if that's realistic or not. It doesn't sound like it might not be realistic. I don't know what's realistic. Who knows? Depending on how much money it is going to cost. But I'm just telling you, if I had like a perfect world scenario, I think I'd rather have that than the dome.
Yeah.
And L.A. built a $5 billion stadium, and they're hosting all these crazy good events. So you don't need a dome to host Super Bowls and national championships and the rest.
Yeah, but something. Need something.
But you do need to make it cooler. That's like, it's going to be one of the high priorities, no doubt. I mean, they know that. Everybody knows that. That is, heck, it's probably some of the motivation to get it done.
Yeah.
And the Tennessee deal feels just so much different because there's like $500 million of state money that they provide for things like this. And the state of Florida doesn't do that. And Tennessee is fortunate where, like, the current mayor in Tennessee can position it like we're getting out of a bad deal, because the original deal wasn't a great deal for the taxpayers.
Really?
Well, no, they were going to go for another, 20 years on the lease, trying to maintain a stadium that was going to have to be maintained at more expense than it had been in the first, 20 years. And so they get out of that deal. They actually kick, $2 billion back before they get going forward, and however they make the finances work after that.
Well, that's significant.
There's so much that goes into the stadium stuff. And
I don't do math.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to it because I think there's a lot of politics to it, right? There's a lot of taxpayer emotion and money involved in it. At the end of the day, if you want to super simplify it, it's got to happen. It's got to happen to some degree.
Yeah.
Because we know that's what makes the NFL go around. And it kind of reminds me of this, and this probably isn't an apples to apples situation. But it used to be studies in college football, and I'm not talking about the Alabamas and everything else, but especially the lower schools, maybe it's a Division II school, like my school, Ashland University, where football would cost you. The study back in the day, this was some 20 years ago, but I remember the numbers were something like football would cost some $250,000, $300,000 to operate. And they'd have, or maybe even more than that, but they would lose $250,000, $300,000, the university. So it didn't make economic sense.
Yeah.
Right?
UNF fits in this.
But, well, yeah, they've done those studies too. And again, the money's totally different, and I'm just kind of spitballing from past memory. But the bottom line is there are a lot of schools in the country in college that were losing money because of football.
Yes.
But the hey, you have a football program? That's also why I'm coming to school. I want to go to a football game on Saturday. Those like the feel that you have because you had football on campus versus not having it, because that question gets asked, was worth it in almost admissions.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? In a different kind of way.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like that when it comes to, the Jags here in town, the NFL, the stadiums, those kind of things that maybe it doesn't make complete financial sense in some areas. But how many people will tell you when the Jags win 3 games in a row, this city feels different?
Everybody.
Right?
Yeah.
There's that part of it. And that's why the Jags have to get winning and make this. All that stuff will ease if they can win games, get feeling good, going in the right direction. That has been one problem with the organization from an on-the-field performance, trying to get things done off the field when money is involved. But people get in their emotions and like, all right, let's go. I want more W's. Right. If you could have asked for everything coming off 2017, you would have got everything because everybody felt great.
Yeah,
and it was going to be there for the next 5 years. So the Jags have to get back to that on the field. That will also help everything. So I kind of attack this from almost a feel standpoint, and I fully understand there's a financial standpoint of it too. But Tennessee does have a little bit of an advantage for even on the financial standpoint. They can kind of skirt this as like, hey, it's a pretty good deal. The one other thing I say is there are only so many billionaires in the world.
Right.
You know what happens when there's only so many of something in the world? That something has a little bit of power.
You think?
I mean, look, I'm here at the Boys House of Cards. If you got a rare card, it's worth more money.
It is.
Right? There's more value to it. There's more power to it. Well, how many billionaires are there outside the NFL? There's some. But that's why they kind of get their financial way, I think, in a lot of markets and a lot of this, the way this shakes out, that people have a problem with. Because you're not just going to find another one walking down the street all the time. So there's an element of that exists. But we'll see where this goes with the Jags. The Tennessee news was interesting. And you brought up a good point of all of them in the AFC South domed. Houston's really interesting because I get it in Indianapolis, and I even get it in Tennessee. It gets cold up there, can snow a little bit up there. But Houston's interesting that they have it dome.
Yeah, just the worst.
Hey, we'll update you on the baseball. The Yankees playing right now, and a weird thing happened in the last couple of days because of the rain out last night. We talked a little baseball to close the show here from DeVoe's House of Cards in St. Johns County. Brent Friends on ESPN 690.
Oh boy, Buddy, the Buddy Holly story is back and it's better than ever. This show will have you dancing in the aisles. Don't miss Buddy.
Tomorrow at the Florida Theater. Tickets on sale at floridatheater.com.
Do you feel a calling to help others? You can change a local child's life by becoming a foster parent through Daniel. You'll receive training, 24/7 support, and compensation to cover the cost for the child's needs and your time. To qualify, you must be over 21, pass a background check, receive training, and have a caring heart. Foster parent classes are starting soon, so please call Daniel at 296-1055. That's 296-1055, or visit danielkids.org.
Hey everybody, it's Brent Mortno from Brent Friends on ESPN 690. Tune into our high-energy, multi-platform show Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. on ESPN 690 and a variety of video streaming platforms as well. As the seasons change, so do the sports topics. It's football season now, and we're bringing you all things sports weekdays from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. And you can tailgate with us at the Duval House for every Sunday home game this football season. Fueled by Celsius Essential Energy. Live fit.
Nights of Lights in St. Augustine is November 19th through January 31st. Avoid crowds, long lines, and the hassles of parking and step on board the White Pelican with Red Boat Tours. 3 tours daily, 1 family-friendly, and 2 BYOB cruises. See our website for details. You can even book the whole boat for your office and family Christmas parties. Let Captain Tony and Miss Jennifer show you the millions of lights in the city multiplied by the reflection on the water. It's breathtaking. Book early. The season fills up fast. Go to redboattours.com. That's redboattours.com.
Jeep Adventure Days.
Trade in that Jeep you've been driving for years and get a brand new one from your local Jeep headquarters. Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Westside. We've got the selection you're looking for. Compass, Wrangler, Cherokee, and Grand Cherokee. Don't forget about Gladiator. It can do it all. See our inventory at jackscjdrwestside.com. Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Westside. Expect something more. I-295 and Commonwealth Avenue. Westside.
Ready to swoop in the fall of 2022? The UNF Ospreys are ready with a lot of momentum on campus. New improvements at UNF Arena with basketball season right around the corner and tickets already on sale. The fall schedule underway in volleyball and men's and women's soccer, also men's and women's cross country. Get the latest news, schedules, results, and information on tickets for all things Ospreys at unfospreys.com. Join the Osprey Club, attend a game or a match. Be a part of the momentum at the University of North Florida right now at unfospreys.com.
Hey, does your car still only play CDs? No Bluetooth? No CarPlay? You've got an old car, my friend. You know what's better than an old car? A less old car. Get a car or truck that's new to you with a great used car loan from 1-to-1 Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. Get pre-approved for a loan and shop at any dealership in town. Get a low rate and get rid of that old car today. Apply online at 1to1fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
ESPN 690 is home for the Florida Sportsman Fishing Show hosted by Captain Rick Riles. Tune in every Saturday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. to find out what's biting now. Fishing so fresh, you can almost smell it.
Finding the right Medicare plan? Oof, no easy feat. Kind of like those dances my granddaughter loves making me do. But then I found Walgreens FindRx coverage. Lets you compare plans online, over the phone, or in person. Made Medicare shopping so easy. Plus, I found plans with low-cost copays. I can get down with that. Medicare annual enrollment ends December 7th. Find a plan that's right for you at walgreens.com/Medicare.
When you're an innovative business, every blinking cursor, every blank page is an opportunity. What will you do with it? Will you make something better or create something new? Our Dell Technologies advisors provide you with tools and expertise to do incredible things. Because we believe there's an innovator in all of us. For advice on smart PCs powered by Intel V Pro that's built for business, call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL.
It's the Blitz Scoreboard Show every Friday night at 9 p.m. on ESPN 690. Join Brent Martineau, Casey Kurtz, and the Hall of Famer Kevin Sullivan for scores, analysis, interviews, and live video of games on the ESPN 690 social media platforms.
Hey, it's Strucktober at Nimnik Buick GMC, and now's the time to get that new GMC Sierra. I got my eyes on a new one already. Mine's only 2 years old. I absolutely love it, so maybe you can get one, and I'll be jealous of yours. How about the new GMC Canyon as well? Nimnik's best price guarantee will help you get into one of those 0% APR for well-qualified buyers through the month of October. Stop by the showroom or visit all the inventory online, NimnikBuickGMC.com. Plus, this month, $1,000 bonus cash to all first responders on eligible new Buick and GMC vehicles. NimnikBuickGMC.com for eligibility. There's new inventory on the lot, ready for delivery. Nimnik has more models on the ground than they've had in over a year. So go check it out, and you can do that on Phillips Highway, just south of I-295. If you're in the market for a used car, Nimnik Buick GMC has plenty of selection. Again, NimnikBuickGMC.com. GMC. We are professional grade. Welcome back, everybody, to Davoli's House of Cards. Brent Martineau, Casey Kurtz, Brent Friends. Been a fun Tuesday once again. Fantasy card breaks. We've got our team set. I'll pass them along, Casey.
Who we got?
Overall, not bad. Not bad. We were able to at least field a team, so we got that going.
I mean, not bad. Are we going to win or what?
We're going to need big weeks. We might talk about this tomorrow. You know, touchdowns and scoring are down, and I also saw the top 4 fantasy football getters of the year are all on a bye week this week. How about that? Be ready to be disappointed, boys. Be disappointed.
Who's our quarterback?
We got Brady. We got Rodgers. I got Kyler Murray. I got everybody in get-right games.
They
got to break out.
Please tell me you didn't play Kyler Murray.
I did, one of them. Yeah, it's on a hunch. He's got to save the guy's job. What's his name? Kingsbury.
He doesn't care about the guy.
Hey, real quick, Yankees, they're winning? 4-1 in the fifth.
It's 4-1 Yankees. Stanton with a 3-run homer in the first, Judge with a solo homer, and then
big boppers.
Guardians had the bases loaded with nobody out, and they only got 1 run out of it. So
Oh,
that's gonna
Cleveland. You know why? Because they're tired. They couldn't have a hotel. They had to split up. I mean, what's going on, baseball?
That's a wild thing. They had to make the team split up because their hotel was overbooked. Listen, if there's one thing you can take away from this, outside of the first base coach for the Yankees, everything else is scum. Everything else going on in that organization is scum right now, okay? You can't make the team split up. They begged for the game to get delayed, so they didn't cancel it right away, all these things. It's a disaster in New York, and they're somehow going to get to advance. It's not right.
There is going to be
right.
some kind of filing from the MLBPA on that. I guarantee it. Because it's in their contract that they're supposed to be at these luxurious hotels and all this stuff.
The game's under protest.
Yeah, they should have done that. And it's a little, they're creatures of habit, and they all of a sudden they're staying at 3 different hotels in New York.
What a disaster.
Oh, the travel guy, I feel bad for him, man. That must have been an epic disaster. Terry Francona was probably out of his mind mad.
No doubt.
All right, overtime with Kurtz and Middleton coming up. Fun day with Blake Bortles. You can go back and listen to the podcast and on YouTube. Appreciate him coming on and our other guests as well. Overtime, Kurtz and Middleton next on ESPN 690.
When you download the Home Depot app, taking on big or small projects starts with a tap. It's your pocket-sized toolbox for getting more done. Image Search helps you find what you need with a snap. Store Mode pinpoints exactly where to go to get what you want while you're at our store. Or just tap to arrange for easy curbside pickup, all from the palm of your hand. It's the app that's made for doing. The Home Depot app. How doers get more done.
She posted about us just now.
Celebrities can't get enough of Beyond's bespoke skincare line.
She has 147 million followers. How do we monetize?
She needs a social media associate to help her with the hype.
We should repost this. Do we need a hashtag?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
It is Trucktober at Nimnik Buick GMC, and now's the time to get into that new GMC Sierra. Hey, I've got one of those, or maybe it's a GMC Canyon, and you had your eyes on it. Now's the time to do it. Nimnik's best price guarantee, 0% APR for well-qualified buyers through the month of October is happening. Stop by the showroom. Visit online, NimnikBuickGMC.com. Also through the month of October, $1,000 bonus cash to all first responders on eligible new Buick and GMC vehicles. Visit NimnikBuickGMC.com for eligibility. GMC, we are professional grade.
Winning is in the cards at Best Bet St. Augustine, the only card room and sports bar in St. Augustine, Florida. With nonstop action, poker games of all limits, and a sports bar, Best Bet St. Augustine has you covered. Play in the $60 no-limit hold'em tournaments on Wednesdays and Thursdays. Or try our game tables like 1-card poker, 3-card poker, and Ultimate Texas Hold'em. You can also watch your favorite football games with the NFL Sunday Ticket at our sports bar. Visit Best Bet St. Augustine, located at 800 Marketplace Drive in St. Augustine, Florida.
This year, CGC Water Treatment is celebrating 75 years in business. Put their experience to work for you. Discover how good your water can be with a new Connecticut softener and drinking water system. We did in our house. Absolutely love it. Have had it for years. Connecticut's twin tank, non-electric softeners are the most efficient softeners available, and their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Call today and save hundreds, even thousands, on a complete home solution for city and well water. Financing available with approved credit. And because the professionals at CGC Water are committed to being your go-to water experts, you can trust their master plumber with all your plumbing needs as well. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I've been a proud customer of CGC Water Treatment for more than 5 years now. CGC Water Treatment, your local independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1428211.
Finding the right Medicare plan? Oof, no easy feat. Kind of like those dances my granddaughter loves making me do. But then I found Walgreens Find Direct's coverage. Lets you compare plans online, over the phone, or in person. Made Medicare shopping so easy. Plus, I found plans with low-cost copays. I can get down with that. Medicare annual enrollment ends December 7th. Find a plan that's right for you at walgreens.com/Medicare.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. The Yankees grabbed control early in the winner-take-all Game 5 of their ALDS versus the Guardians. Giancarlo Stanton with a 3-run shot off Aaron Savali. Savali didn't make it out of the first inning. Aaron Judge has added a solo home run. Anthony Rizzo an RBI single. New York's up 5-1 on Cleveland after 5. It is Philadelphia at San Diego in the NLCS opener tonight. The X factor for the Phillies, if they're to advance to the World Series for the first time since 2009, their defense, believes ESPN's Jessica Mendoza.
Course of the season, the worst defense in all of baseball. In fact, defensive runs saved at one point this season was the worst by a huge amount. You even think about some of the times they've struggled over the course of the last few weeks. It's because of their corners and how much they've struggled.
Game 1 NLCS 7:30 Eastern ESPN Radio. Colts owner Jim Irsay strong words at the NFL owners meetings today, said he thinks there's merit to removing Dan Snyder as owner of the Commanders, and there's consideration that he should be removed. He called Snyder's missteps as owner gravely concerning.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Looking for a career you'll love with flexibility, great pay, and benefits, and one of the country's top workplaces? Come join their growing team. Go to progressive.com/careers and apply online today.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
America's longest intro bet is on Overtime with Kurtz and Middleton, and it's a Tuesday. No feet in the parking lot. But maybe for Brian Middleton. What's going on, Brian Middleton? You leaving me the rest of the week? I'm putting your business in the streets.
Oh, that's what we call a tease.
What's going on with that,
Actually,
man?
it's not a tease, right? Because we're talking about it right now.
Yeah, it's true.
Wow, who is writing the paragraph in the chat? What were you guys talking about in Brent Friends, man?
People were fired up about the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Holy
also fired up
smokes.
that Blake Bortles, the boat, was on the show. Did you catch that?
Boat to go.
Blake Bortles on the program.
Young boat.
It was really good. It was really good. It was cool to talk to Blake. We'll get that up on YouTube and the social media channels as soon as we can. But yeah, we have Blake on at 4 o'clock. You can still find it in this video if you go back just a little bit. Of course, after we are done. Don't do that until Overtime with Kurtz and Middleton has concluded. But, Brian Middleton, they can never put the Broncos in prime time again.
No, yeah, I don't.
Just can't do it.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one. I don't understand. I get the thinking prior, right? I get the thinking prior. You're like, Pete Carroll has it wrong, right? Casey Kurtz doesn't know what he's talking about. Pete Carroll has it wrong in Seattle, and he has it wrong when it comes to Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson's going to Denver? A team that, didn't wow anybody last year, but it wasn't like you suck. So you're going to put Russ out there now? Granted, they're going to have a new coach, and, it may, we don't know about him. But Russ on Denver, and we get to do cutaway shots of Sierra during the game, during the home games especially.
Yeah.
Give them a couple of Thursday nights. Give them a couple of Monday nights. Give them a Sunday night. Monday, Sunday, couple of Thursdays. Get them in the prime time. We need that right there. We need that. Boy, I tell you what, man. It's been a struggle. I couldn't even finish this game. It went to overtime.
It did go to overtime.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
By all accounts, that's an interesting game when you have to play extra after the 60 minutes. And I got to tell you, Casey Kurtz, I think I got to lean towards it. If there is, I don't know the Broncos schedule, but if for some reason the Broncos are playing just about anybody later on past week 10, and it's a primetime game, I don't know the flex rules, but Denver this year has made me want to look up the flex rules for the NFL. Like, what does that – when do they have the power to be like, you know what, you guys, we had you Sunday night, but we're going to move you up to 1 p.m. 1 o'clock on the dot. Yeah. Not even 1:02. We'll get somebody else that start at 8:20 in the nighttime, because you can't take control of that time slot and be playing that poorly. That I think, right? It's about ratings, and people will turn away, especially the casual fan.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm with you.
The Broncos will play at 9:30 a.m. against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey, that's a good time. In the morning time.
In the morning.
That's good.
So if you're in Denver and you want to watch that game, you got to be up at 7 at the bare minimum. And then they will play the Kansas City Chiefs on December 11th. But I'm be real with you, they're pulling that.
They can pull by then.
They can pull in December.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Because they have to. Because, I don't know the schedule for the rest of that week, but yeah, I mean, we don't need to see the Chiefs win by 45, do we? In prime time. Listen, I'm all for good teams playing in prime time, but, I don't need to see that. They will play the Jets next week, so that's an interesting one. Next week. They will play the Jets next week. It's not in prime time. It's at 4:05, but still.
That's a good time.
That's a good time.
It's getting a little late, though. The sun is down by the time the fourth quarter is over with, so I don't know.
Yeah, but that's an easy one where you can just, go start making dinner and get ready for the primetime game. You know what I'm saying? Or go pick up your dinner. Who am I kidding? Anyway, boy, the Broncos are going to lose their minds when the Jets win that one. Tell you what. Anyway, Russell Wilson, he's definitely the problem. Nobody can convince me differently. You can't. You just can't convince me differently. He threw for 15 yards in the second half in overtime. Did you see that stat?
There is clearly a disconnect.
With what?
To say he's the problem,
he is one of two major issues.
That ain't what you said. Now, doggone it, that ain't what you just said.
I know.
You've been stressing that he is the problem.
Nathaniel Hackett's just as bad.
Just as bad.
But here's the difference. You can fire Nathaniel Hackett. You can't get rid of your quarterback you just traded multiple first-round picks for and paid a boatload of money. There's one problem you can solve. The quarterback problem, you can't.
Can't do it.
Can't do it. You disagreeing with me, or are you saying you can't do it?
I'm still under the impression that the disconnect between the offense and Russell Wilson, a lot of blame goes to him. To say that he is one of the problems, I'm like, I guess, when you're 2-4, I believe they're 2-4. When you're 2-4, when it looks that poor, great, watch this. If the Jags had looked that poor with the same record, I can only imagine what people would be saying about Trevor Lawrence, about Doug Peterson. So I get the frustration. From people who are looking at it and you're just like, this is Super Bowl winning quarterback. This Russ, this is, ready to ride. Let's ride, Russ.
Broncos country.
It ain't looking good. So I'm sure he's looking in the mirror right now. I hope that's the case. I hope there's no reports of him, shunning responsibility. But I think it lies, even though the quarterback gets most of the blame, Casey Kurtz, I think it lies with the head coach. This guy comes in.
Yeah.
Isn't Hackett supposed to be some type of offensive guru?
That's what they said.
That's what they said. I know you've been a big fan of him for a while, for seasons now. And so, you must be surprised that this is the outcome going on here. Who do you think, when the owner is behind closed doors, who do you think he's blaming more? Not the fact that he's paying Russ more and he's like, man, I'm getting worked over here on my wallet. I'm saying, who do you think the owner is blaming more, Nathaniel Hackett or Russell Wilson, for the offensive woes?
It's Russell Wilson, and here's why. When you trade for a veteran quarterback that's won a Super Bowl like Russell Wilson has, and you hire a rookie head coach, you think, okay, our quarterback who's been here and been through this is going to be able to excel that, right? There's going to be problems on the coaching. I get that. Some mistakes, rookie coach moves. I understand that. But I brought in Russell Wilson to be able to overcome that, and he hasn't done it yet. So I think all day it's Russell Wilson, because you know that you're going to get some interesting things happening with a rookie coach. But to me, I'm blaming Russell Wilson if I'm the owner.
I mean, your run game hasn't been well. Can I speak today?
I don't know.
Your run game hasn't been really helpful. I mean, Javonte, he's injured. He's out. Melvin Gordon got benched.
Melvin Gordon, man, I know you said you stopped watching. They would just show cut-ins of like Melvin Gordon just standing there like, bruh.
Yeah. And so this seems to be going downhill fastly. But I don't, I'm Russ. I'm like, yeah, you can give me all the power to a certain degree. But listen, the only reason why the ball was put into my hands a couple of games ago against the Colts on a terrible Thursday night football game, or was that Sunday night? I think that was a Thursday night football game.
That was Amazon Prime. People were trying to refund their subscriptions as plays were happening.
I need my $14 back now, or $10, whatever it is. I would say if I'm Russ, I'm like, the only reason he gave me the chance then was because he didn't really believe in me a couple of weeks prior. And he got all that backlash. Like, y'all mad at me. There's only so much I can do. How about that? There's only so much I can do. You putting it all on me? All on me?
Take the blame.
Nah, I took the check. I don't need to take the blame.
When things are going right, who they going to give credit to? Take the blame, take the credit. Let's ride. Broncos country is not trying to ride. Listen to this. Jets, Jags, Titans. Next 3 for the Broncos. What is their record after the next 3 games? Go ahead. It's 0-3.
Well, I'm about to say, yeah, there's a big L in that second game.
Yeah.
Okay. Coach Trevor and them boys like, bruh.
They'll beat Denver. The Jags will beat Denver.
Easily.
They should now.
Easily. No, that's set in stone right there. We've moved on from that.
The Jets are pretty good. We're about to do power rankings. It's Power Rankings Tuesday. The Jets are pretty good.
I think people are going to get upset. I think Philadelphia might be upset with me, the whole city. That's okay, though.
You are wild.
But your point is well taken. The Jets are good. Listen, man.
And the Tennessee's good.
Are they good?
They're better than Denver. I think Tennessee's okay. Like, I don't trust the quarterback in Tennessee, but they continue to do what they do.
1-2. 1-2,
so
and they won't beat the Jags. Yeah, and they won't beat the Jags. So it's either
that's reasonable.
The Jets or the Titans. All right.
And here's the thing. How bad is that we're even saying that? Like the Broncos, when this schedule came out, the Broncos said win, win, win. And now we're not even sure if we can find them a win, and we don't even care about the Broncos.
No.
Like I feel like we're being as straightforward as we can be. The Broncos are not good.
Listen, the whole AFC West, outside of the best team in the AFC, Kansas City, is like
true.
That was fool's gold.
The Chargers.
Go ahead.
The Chargers yesterday. I know the Broncos have a good defense. They do have that, but like, are the Chargers good?
They're not better than the Jags.
They are not. That is actually a fact that we've seen so far this season. If they go 0-3. Jets, Broncos, Titans. Somebody getting fired?
Listen. Hackett, you may have to.
Is he
he may have to be the one I got to get rid of whoever I say is calling the offensive player.
Somebody.
Yeah, know, I might have to do something like that, or a huge benching or something like that. But yeah, it's ugly out there quick, and I am as surprised as anybody else. And their fans must be frustrated too.
They are. I got a few of them on Twitter. They're just upset. I said, we've been here. We've been here.
Yeah.
I'd tell you that. Anyway, Brian Middleton, let's take a break. Overtime with Kurtz and Middleton. We've got Power Rankings. It's Power Rankings Tuesday. We are doing that next. We're also doing, what are we doing? Disappointed fan bases? The most disappointed.
Frustrated fan bases, man. Alliterations, brother.
Well, I wonder if Denver will be on there. Spoiler alert. They'll be on there. I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah.
They should be frustrated. All mine might come out of there. You have to stay to find out, but mostly Power Rankings Tuesday. What disrespectful thing will Brian Middleton do to the Philadelphia Eagles this week? You wilded.
Jets.
Find out the Power Rankings next. Overtime with Kurtz and Middleton. We're back right after this.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
A very cool night tonight under clear skies. Will drop into the lower 40s near record lows by morning, so a sweater or a jacket to start your Wednesday. Otherwise, mostly sunny and breezy with highs tomorrow in the afternoon reaching the upper 60s. From the CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News, Jack's First Alert Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds. Save thousands on buy one, get one on wedding bands now through October 23rd.
Men, if you're struggling with erectile dysfunction or PE and frustrated taking pills that don't work, Prime Men's Medical Center offers breakthrough medical treatments that effectively treat your problem. 98% of patients experience immediate results during their first office visit. And for a limited time, your initial consultation and first treatment are completely free. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Rubinsky. The physicians at Prime Men's Medical Center offer the most advanced treatments that eliminate ED and PE. Now men are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history.
Guys, to eliminate your frustration in the bedroom, call Prime Men's Medical Center now to take advantage of this exclusive limited-time offer. Your initial consultation and first treatment are totally free, and you'll see instant results right in the office. Call now, 904-664-8214. 904-664-8214. That's 904-664-8214.
Finding the right Medicare plan? Oof, no easy feat. Kind of like those dances my granddaughter loves making me do. But then I found Walgreens Find Direct's coverage. Lets you compare plans online, over the phone, or in person. Made Medicare shopping so easy. Plus, I found plans with low-cost copays. I can get down with that. When you need to talk Medicare, Walgreens is here. Start shopping today at walgreens.com/Medicare.
Dr. Travis Stork here to tell you about a great pain reliever called Salon Pas Pain Relieving Patches. Salon Pas is pain medicine in a patch. You stick it right on sore muscles for up to 8 hours. Clinical research has shown that people that used Salon Pas reported less pain with improvement in mood, sleep, and the ability to work. Safe, effective relief is one peel and place away. Salon Pas, it's good medicine.
At Simply Safe Home Security, we know in an emergency, the clock is ticking. So we designed an advanced security system powered by live 24/7 professional monitoring agents who use Fast Protect technology exclusively from Simply Safe to capture video evidence and verify a threat. Then alert police so you get faster police response. Right now, get 40% off any new system. Visit simplysafe.com/holiday to save big today. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Sure, we have 30 seconds to tell you that drivers who switch to Progressive could save big. But then what? Well, there is a nice piece of stock music playing behind me that a talented composer worked really hard on. So let's enjoy it. Wow, almost overshadows the saving big when you switch to Progressive part. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Right. It's time on a Tuesday. Overtime, Kurtz and Middleton. Power Rankings Tuesday. What will Brian Middleton do to upset the city of Philadelphia? The continued disrespect of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Whoa. It's not continued. They were number one on my list last week. Don't do that.
Yeah, but you didn't want to.
Well, it's not a want to thing. It's what my eyes see, is what I know from watching the NFL. It's what I know intuitively. So, like it's not a want to type deal. It's just what's true and right, Casey.
Yeah, and what's true. You know what? Let's just get into what's true and right, Brian Middleton. Who's starting? You want me to start?
Yeah, I started last week. You start.
Oh, well, this will be easy. Number one, give me the Philadelphia Eagles. It's obvious. It's unquestioned. The Philadelphia Eagles 6-0 take care of the Cowboys. Put Cooper Rush solely back on the bench with their performance on both sides of the football. Darius Slay said, I'll take that. I'll take your starting job right here, and I'll see you on the bench next time we play y'all. It was a good story with Cooper Rush, but yeah, that's done. I have a feeling. And we like the Cooper Rush story. It just didn't work out. But the Eagles, back to the Eagles' point of it, Jalen Hurts cooking, MVP of the league right now. That offense is scary. The defense is scary as well. I believe they go into a bye this week, so they'll probably stay at number one next week for me as well. I know that people are trying to give love to that game that was on CBS. I believe it was the Bills and the Chiefs. It was a good game. People have them high in the power rankings. Okay, whatever. Eagles haven't lost a football game, so there's no reason they should be anywhere other than first in power rankings if you know about football, Brian Middleton.
Yeah, that's a terrible take. But, of course, it seems like, surface level, so I respect that from you, Casey Kurtz. Very surface level individual. My number one, Casey, even though I haven't even played the sound of one, I got to find it on the next go around, is the Buffalo Bills.
Sure.
Listen, Kansas City is the best team in the AFC. And Buffalo, I asked them to show me more. And they showed me more, okay? They went to Kansas City and righted a wrong, kind of. Wasn't in the playoffs. And they showed me something. They showed me more. Josh Allen, it's still, like not a lot of offense, but enough offense, 24 points. I'll take it. And hey, whenever you can come out on the other side of the win column, when you have went to Kansas City and faced Patrick Mahomes and those boys, I got to give you just due. Now, how long they stay at number one, I don't know, Casey Kurtz, but right now I got Buffalo Bills at number one. Oh, hold on.
2.
There we go.
I got the Buffalo Bills at number 2.
Okay.
Impressive win over the Chiefs, Good stuff, quality. Go into Arrowhead, win a football game. I'm all for it. The Buffalo Bills, good team, not the number 1 team in the league. A good team. They did prove something. They proved that they were better right now. We'll see how that comes in the playoffs. But as of now, sure, I'll have them at number 2. Josh Allen, he was cooking. Gabe Davis, Stephon Diggs, they look scary. The only way they could get scarier would be Christian McCaffrey. But, they a comfortable number 2 in my power rankings, the Buffalo Bills.
I got you, Casey Kurtz. And I appreciate you for that. My number 2 was the same number 2 from last week, Kansas City Chiefs. Listen, I don't see anything that make them drop lower in the actual power rankings. They played a great Buffalo team that I put at number 1. And really, they did most of the things that they needed to do. Of course, there were a couple plays that, if they would have actually executed, they could have won that game. But I think that this is a precursor probably to, it's going to be at least a playoff matchup. Probably we're looking at the championship game, and this team is strong. They'll figure some stuff out on defense. But I got Kansas City as my number 2, Casey Kurtz.
3. The Kansas City Chiefs. Comfortably 3rd, losing to the Buffalo Bills. Has the Bills leapfrogging them there. That's the only thing I changed in that order. Still a good team. Not worried about them. They got the pieces. They got some things they got to shore up on defense, which I assume they will. They usually do. They got a great kicker, which I think plays in here. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes. Again, I know they lost the football game, but I don't think they need Tyreek Hill. And I think they continue to prove that, and they're getting better every week. It was a great football game. I'm not worried about the Chiefs at all. Comfortably the 3rd best team in the league.
I do agree with you about the Tyreek Hill point. Very solid point that I think people are slowly coming to realize. My number 3, there was some struggle here. There are a couple of teams that are playing very well, and I was like, I could put them here, but why ruffle feathers? Let's just go ahead with what should be understood. So at number 3, I got the New York Jets, Casey Kurtz. The New York Jets at number 3. When you win the South, okay, it's hard to get out of the sauce the same. Whatever you said last week, Casey Kurtz, it was a bar. I messed it up, okay? But when you get with South and the boys, it's a problem out here right now. Zach Wilson. Hide your mom. Zach Wilson. Bryce Hall, Bryson Hall, Bryson Tiller. All of them are coming together right now. I'm shouting out Aaron Schachter and the New York Jets right now. I like them. Young team, feisty team. Can't wait. Bart Scott energy out here. I know there are other teams out here that may have not lost a game so far this season, but I'll tell you why they're behind the New York Jets later on. Right now, the New York Jets, after 7 weeks of play, number 3 on my power rankings, Casey Kurtz, they leapfrogged Minnesota. I did my number 3 last week.
Yeah.
Here we go. Who you got, Casey Kurtz?
I just want to, before we go to 4, can you just confirm to me that
Philly's not on my list yet.
Okay.
I have not said the Philadelphia Eagles yet. Philly, stand up. Now sit back down, okay, until I call for you.
That is so bad.
4.
I mean, the Jets. 3. What? All right. Where's my list? I have a New York team at number 4. It's the Giants. It's the New York Football Giants.
Somebody loves the Giants now. Okay.
What do you mean now? I've had fair respect for the Giants. I had the Giants last week. And quick math says that's either 7 or 8. Okay? I keep all my thing on the same spreadsheet just so I can keep track of myself. Yes, the New York Football Giants. The New York Football Giants, who are coming to town to play the Jacksonville Jaguars. Listen, say what you want about what happened with Lamar in that game. Say whatever you want about Daniel Jones, the quarterback, who I have not been a supporter of, just to be clear. Never been a supporter of Daniel Jones. But guess what? Guess what the only thing that really matters is? They're getting W's. It doesn't matter how they're getting them. They're getting them. They beat the Bears. Okay, most of us could. They go to London and take down Aaron Rodgers, who had the ball with a chance to win the game, and they didn't let him do that. And then you beat Lamar and the Ravens. I believe in the Giants. They have the best running back in the league, unquestioned. The defense is good. The wide receivers, you don't know who they are, but they're apparently making plays. And I got the Giants at 4th in the power rankings as they come into Jacksonville this week.
I got Nick Chubb on line 1 about that best running back in the league thing. You want to take it?
Yes.
We'll take it in the break.
No, we'll take it right now.
No, I tell him to hold on. Don't worry about that.
Tell him to hold on because I don't need to hear all that nonsense.
Okay.
Saquon Barkley is the best running back in the league.
Okay, there you go. Casey Kurtz, my number 4 team is well deserving of the spot that I'm putting them in. The Philadelphia Eagles. Listen, who can argue with 6-0? Who can argue with it? I'm going to argue with it. I think that they're a fine team. Not a lot of adversity so far. They don't look good in the second half. I don't care what anybody said. They don't need to score. They don't look good in the second half, whatever that is. I think it's going to come back to bite them in the regular season. And unless they show me something, other than what they've shown me so far, it'll probably bite them in the actual playoffs. I'm not a full believer, but I can't not put them in the top 5. That would be foolish, Casey Kurtz. So I got the Philadelphia Eagles, Jalen Hurts, and them boys. Number 4. Next up.
5.
You are wild, bro.
Yeah, there you go. I'm a
boy.
visionary, Casey Kurtz. I'm not afraid to speak the truth. It's easy to put Philly up at number 1, number 2. It's easy to put Buffalo at number 1, number 2, number 3 every week.
It's the right answer.
To put Kansas City up there, number 1, number 2. That's the right answer. But it's not easy to speak the truth about the New York Jets and what they're putting together after 7 weeks of the season. I'm sorry, Casey Kurtz. Let me reset.
5.
I like what the Jets are doing, and I have them in an appropriate place, but that place is not number 5 because I have the Minnesota Vikings.
There you go. Hey, Casey Kurtz, I'm already giving mine away.
Minnesota Vikings looking realer and realer. Listen, when I saw the Vikings in week 1 and they done stomped the Packers, I was like, all right, but I need to see more. And then they got throttled by the Philadelphia Eagles. I said, ain't no way. They beat the Lions by 4. I said, nah, not enough. Barely beat the Saints. I was like, I don't know about this barely winning games. Beat the Bears somewhat handily. Okay. And now beat the Dolphins. I got to show them the respect because frankly, there's not a lot of good teams. But the Minnesota Vikings have shown me something. They play the Arizona Cardinals next. They play the Commanders after that. So they're in a good spot. I'm not asking them to show me something because I think they're comfortably in a good spot, but you got to win these games. Take care of your business. Lock up the division, by the way. Win those games and be 7-1? I can't do math while I'm talking, but the Packers aren't good, right? You could start locking stuff up just by a record standpoint pretty easily, or at least a playoff spot. So, you know what? Captain Kirk, Justin Jefferson, gritty all over everybody because I got the Minnesota Vikings at number 5.
Chef Jeff and them boys is cooking. Now, granted, they dropped 2 spots on my list. And that's, listen, I can't stop the Jets train right now, all right? But Minnesota is still a top 5 team. They're probably top 3 when it's all said and done. But for all the reasons that you named, Casey Kurtz, I got them at number 5 as well. So let's go ahead and go to 6 through 10. You got it.
I got the New York Jets at number 6 in an appropriate place. I still got the Dallas Cowboys at number 7. I got the Dolphins at number 8 because I don't think a loss without their quarterbacks means much to us coming back. I think they'll get back to cooking. This is where I get confused at 9 and 10 because the Packers are no good. The Bucks are no good. I've given up completely on the 49ers. You go and lose to Atlanta? I mean, what in the world? And then the Ravens aren't good. I can't put the Ravens there. I love the Bengals. I can't put them there. They barely beat the Saints. I'm not putting the Colts there. But here's what I did.
You're a Tennessee Titans fan. I can see it. I smelled it on you.
The Titans it's not the Titans.
Oh, okay.
My last 2 are the Chargers, who, again, I'm not confident on. Lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars and really was not convincing last night.
Whoa.
But
why are you shooting at the Jags like that?
I don't know.
Okay.
It felt right. I got the Chargers right there at 9. And then at number 10, back-to-back weeks, 30-plus points, the New England Patriots. Mac Jones out of a job? I hope not. But watch out. Zappy.
I was about to say, what's his name? Brady? Not Brady. Zappy. That's his name.
That boy Zappy cooking.
Oh,
I got
man.
the Patriots. They're giving up more points than I'd like, but back-to-back 30-point games with Zappy as your quarterback. Nobody knows who your wide receivers are. And your number 1 running back's out in Harris.
Look, now, Ramondre doing this thing.
Ramondre's a great back, right? He's going to be their lead back going forward, as he should have been. But I got to show my love for the Patriots. I got the Titans at 11, by the way.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I forget you do honorable mentions. So I'll go ahead and get mine out the way. The honorable mention is the Dolphins. Once Tua is back, let's see how that works out. But anyway, 6 through 10, I got the New York Giants, the Dallas Cowboys at 7, the Atlanta Falcons, who should be 4-2, save for a Brady call that was whack. At
the Falcons!
8, the Atlanta Falcons at 8, the Los Angeles Chargers at 9, and Casey, listen, I got Baltimore at 10.
You are out of your mind.
Hold on, because I can make an argument. The teams that they lost to when they lost to them, Casey Kurtz, who we got? The Dolphins, the Bills, and who they just lost to, the Giants, who are what? 5-1, and the Dolphins are what, 3-3. But listen, they lost their head quarterback. Knock it off. Had the leads in all these games, and listen. If they lose again, I gotta knock them out. But I can make an argument the same way I make an argument for the Jags potentially being 4-2 or 5-1. There's a real argument that they should be 6-0. 6-0. And they're not. They're 3-3. But I got them at 10. They're way better than...
Give me 6 through 10 again.
The Giants, Cowboys, Falcons, Chargers, Baltimore. And I think Atlanta going to give some people some work. I think y'all going to keep disrespecting. And then week 11, Casey Kurt's going to be like, and I've been giving them a fair shake the last 2 weeks. Like he's been doing it for the whole season. The same way he just did with the Giants. Knock it off, man. Falcons they're here. They for real, man.
You are out of your mind.
The Marcus Mariotas.
Here's the thing.
The Drake Londons.
I love Drake London. That's what I was going to say. I love Drake London. They are doing some things. Tyler Allgeier, I like him as well. So, whatever. You're out of your mind. But I see what you're trying to do.
We really should get some graphics for these so that it's put down in history. Because I don't want any mistaken when I got all these playoff teams at the end of the season. And you're like, oh, you've been calling this since week 7 of the season.
Yeah. I'll work on the graphics while you're out, Brian Middleton. Power Rankings Tuesday, overtime with Kurtz and Middleton. Brian Middleton, let's do this. Let's take a break. We will come back because I do want to get to this. Disappointed fan bases, frustrated fan bases. We give them to you. Who is the most upset of the fans? We talk about it on the other side. Overtime, Kurtz and Middleton. We'll be right back.
It's Jay with Rhino Shield. In over 20 years of protecting stucco homes, we've never had a 40% off sale. So here it is. Call us now to save 40%.
Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Hi everyone, Brian Kilmeade here with Mark, of Mark Spain Real Estate. So first, Mark, people selling their homes might not want the hassle of strangers coming through for showings. How does the guaranteed offer help with that?
Skip the hassle because there's no lockbox on your door. There's no stranger coming through your kitchen or your bedroom or your closet. There's no open houses on Sunday, so you don't have to leave with your kids and your dog.
So how does it work?
We're just going to come over on a night that's convenient for you or a day that's convenient for you. We're going to bring you a strong cash offer, all cash, quick closing, no appraisal, closing as little as 21 days, stress-free. It doesn't get any simpler than that.
So with nearly 10,000 five-star reviews, pretty clear, it's obvious, you know a lot about selling homes fast with maximum profit for the home seller. Find out what the guaranteed offer would be on your home. No obligation. Call 855-299-SOLD or go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
ESPN 690 is home for the Florida Sportsman Fishing Show hosted by Captain Rick Riles. Tune in every Saturday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. to find out what's biting now. Fishing so fresh, you can almost smell it.
I know what you're thinking. How are they already back? How could they already be back? Overtime with Kurtz and Middleton. That's because we're here on ESPN 690. You know what I mean. If you're listening, you know exactly what I mean. We're on ESPN 690. Brian Middleton, the broadcast on. Casey Kurtz with you as well on a Tuesday. Power Rankings Tuesday. We just did them. Graphic in the works. The Atlanta Falcons, huh? You're really out of your mind.
Visionary, Casey Kurtz.
Really
Try it sometime.
Huh?
Try it sometime. You call these college football games, I think you do wonders, going next level, not just surface level with your power rankings.
I just call it as I see it, Brian Middleton. But the point of the story is we thought that the Atlanta Falcons might be on the frustrated fan bases list, but they're not. They're absolutely not. They're overachieving right now. So who is on the frustrated fan bases list? Oh.
Yeah, you like that?
What is this?
Oh, yeah, I don't know. We'll probably get copyright strike on it. But, hey, it's okay. It's Alfred Hitchcock. But It sounded frustrated to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you got a dunce type of team.
Yeah.
Like you can't quite get it right. Fumbles, butterfingers. can execute.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm with you.
Throwing the quarterback down after, the whistle blew.
Okay.
And it's tied up at 6-all.
Okay. Should I start? You want to go back and forth? How you want to do this?
I can go since you went
Go
first
ahead.
last time.
Give me what you got.
At number 3, Casey Kurtz.
Oh, wait, okay, yep.
At number 3, Casey Kurtz.
Yep, sorry.
I've got the Baltimore Ravens.
Really?
Double time, double duty. Listen, for every reason that I said last segment, this team probably should be at least 5-1. Like one of those other games that they gave up the lead to, maybe a team just does that anyway. But at the very least, they should be 5-1. Arguably, they could be the AFC version of Philly and 6-0 right now. And their defense, their passing defense is I show up when I decide to.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. Lamar, I don't care if you run for 300 or you run for 100 or you pass for 70 or you pass for 7,000 in a game. If I want to play, I will. If not, but we're going to lose this game. And so I think the fan base and probably a lot of people on the team that may not say it to the people's face are just frustrated with the execution for 4 quarters after 7 weeks in the NFL season. Casey Kurtz, who you got for number 3?
Got the Arizona Cardinals.
Ah, that's a good one. I like that.
Underachieving, 2-4. You just lost to the Seattle Seahawks, who should have been on this list but are not because they're overachieving. Russ was the problem. Make it a hashtag. Cardinals paid the quarterback, said, hey, we're good. He's locked in. He's going to study. No, he's not. He's not studying. The coach is a problem. The playmakers are a problem. But the defense is a problem. A whole lot of problems in Arizona. It's also 120 degrees. So you can't even go outside to enjoy the weather. You sweating. It's that dry heat. Yeah, I get it, but it's still hot as hell outside. So, Arizona, there's not a lot going right. Your baseball team sucks. They were out of the playoff race since April, and the season starts in March. You got the hockey team's no good. I guess the Phoenix Suns are all right, but you had a whole thing in the offseason that you had to deal with the owner, which was not good. Nothing to be excited about in Phoenix, Arizona right now.
Yeah.
Because it's still hot.
Yeah. No,
and Kyler's not the guy.
It's actually cooling down now, but you're right. It is still very hot compared to the rest of the country. Casey Kurtz for number 2. I thought about putting the Jags here, but as much as I admonished the fans about not being frustrated and it's their fault, it seemed like a hypocrite if I just doubled down on that. So I'm going to go with another low-hanging fruit, the Chicago Bears. Listen, hey, listen, man, I know you think you got your franchise QB. I think he potentially could be good. I don't know what the coaching staff and the coaches that he's had have done to help grow him, right? So now it's a chicken or egg question. Is he not performing because, listen, he's got a whole new coach and now he's had to learn everything brand new. It's like a second rookie season in a way, even though it's not. Or is it him and, Justin Fields and he just can't, he's not that guy. You don't know, but you've made an investment into him. And this team is like, boy, I wish we could throw the ball. I really wish we could because there's a couple of parts to the offense. One is running, but the forward pass came around in the 1900s at some point, and we would love to partake in that right there. We just love to do it. What's Rex Grossman? Rex Grossman on line 2. So I got Chicago Bears at number 2 on my list, Casey Kurtz.
Sexy Rexy Grossman. What you know about that, Brian?
Whoa, I don't know. But
you never heard that before?
Never heard it,
Interesting.
There you go, Casey Kurtz.
I know someone that's listening's heard that. They've had to. Number 2, how about the Denver Broncos? Listen.
That's fair.
We brought in Russell Wilson. Dude won a Super Bowl. We have a great defense. The only thing we can't do is score points. We got Russ. Things are going to be fine. Let it breathe. Spoiler alert, it's not fine. Nothing is fine in Denver. It's actually very bad. Okay, the coach is a problem as it currently stands. The quarterback's a bigger problem right now. And frankly, I've been high on the Denver receivers, right? Jerry Jeudy, good player. Cortland Sutton, good player. Like, do something,
Yeah.
Help your quarterback who apparently is no good. So Denver's got to be annoyed. And their defense is still good. You got a good defense. You're holding the Chargers to, what was it, 16 or 13? I forget. Not even, Herbert barely had fantasy points last night, and you still lose.
A lot of cussing on that Denver defense. A lot of cussing in the locker room.
The only good thing is you get to watch your team in prime time, but it turns into a bad team when they're this bad. So I know the Denver Broncos fans are frustrated. Not as much as my number 1 team, but I know y'all upset. And frankly, I don't think it's getting better anytime soon.
Yeah, I'm with you, Casey Kurtz. My number 1 overall frustrated fan bases after week 7 of the NFL season, Casey Kurtz. I got the Arizona Cardinals.
Really?
Multiple reasons. Before the start of the season, do you remember the social games where we were talking about the hot seat for the coaches? And I was like, low key, y'all better watch. Arizona, they not playing out there, Cliff. Okay? This little 10-6 and then losing, okay? They don't want that. They don't want that. They spoiled like Florida Gator fans. You keep playing around, y'all start off slow, that seat gonna turn to white hot, and it's turning white. I mean, that news came out with your boy Kyler Murray, you know, who is better still than Kirk Cousins. And I mean, listen, it's been downhill. It's been a struggle. DeAndre Hopkins has been missing, you know what I mean, because of, you know, we won't talk about that. And then you pick up Robbie Anderson. Now, I followed Cardinals Twitter, and they obviously haven't done their scouting report on Robbie Anderson. But when they do, around week 14, week 14, I'll be interested on what they think about that, especially if the Cardinals are 4-10, 4-9, and see how good of an attitude, how much of an addition Robbie Anderson will be. No knock to him. I don't know him in real life. He could be a great person outside of football. Terrible for my Panthers. Terrible. Arizona Cardinals #1, Casey Kurtz. What you got?
I got the Las Vegas Raiders.
That's fair. That, you know what? Yeah.
How? Listen, Raiders fans, y'all been through a lot. They moved the team to Las Vegas, which originally you were mad at, but then you realized, oh wait, we get to go to Las Vegas every Sunday. Oh, it's fine. It's okay. So I'm right. Move the team. I can see why that would annoy you. New coach, the guy that everybody wanted for the most part. A team that went to the playoffs. They brought in Devontae Adams, and they are trash. And really, it makes no sense. Oh, they brought in Chandler Jones for 0 sacks. He has not got a sack yet this season. So how could you not be super annoyed as a Raiders fan? Because you're as diehard as it gets, and your team is just confusing you every Sunday. How are they finding ways to lose to Arizona that one week? You think the quarterback's all right. The weapons are all right. The offense is incredible. And you can't win games. You blow a huge lead to Kansas City. Everything is frustrating for the Raiders right now. Nothing to hang your hat on at this point.
Well, your best receiver is a good run blocker. We know that, okay? We do know that.
Your best wide receiver is getting sued. Like, there's so many things going wrong with the Raiders.
Run that jet sweep
right
to the
now.
side. See what happened.
Holy cow.
Pancakes in the stat column for your wide receivers.
I know the Raiders fans are upset. I know it to be true, and that's why I got them at #1 on the frustrated fan basis. Holy cow. The Raiders.
Wow, that was good. That was good, Casey. That's it for frustrated fan basis.
I like it, Brian Middleton. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, the NBA starts, and I don't know if you heard, we're bringing back the cheap ticket report. We're going to check on the ticket prices, Brian. It's been a while since we did that.
It's been a while.
And we're going to bring it back to it. If you're an OT original, you know what we're talking about. We're going to check those prices. We got Padres and Phillies game 1 of the NLCS. How much would it cost you to get in? How much would it cost you to get into opening night in the NBA? The Lakers and the Warriors? Holy cow. It's going to cost you a penny to see the Warriors win by 14. Oh my goodness. We talk about it when we come back.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
It is Trucktober at Nimnik Buick GMC, and now's the time to get into that new GMC Sierra. Hey, I've got one of those, or maybe it's a GMC Canyon, and you had your eyes on it. Now's the time to do it. Nimnik's best price guarantee, 0% APR for well-qualified buyers through the month of October is happening. Stop by the showroom. Visit online, nimnikbuickgmc.com. Also through the month of October, $1,000 bonus cash to all first responders on eligible new Buick and GMC vehicles. Visit nimnikbuickgmc.com for eligibility. GMC, we are professional grade.
It's peak season at Fanatics, and we are hiring. Come work for a great local company you already love. Starting pay is $16 per hour. All Fanatics new hires start with 20 hours of unpaid time off, a 40% employee discount, and can contribute to their 401k. Based on company needs, new hires have a chance to be permanent employees with more benefits after peak season. All you have to do to apply is text FAN to 89743. That's FAN to 89743. Did you write that down? Apply by texting FAN to 89743. Fanatics is an equal opportunity employer.
You're the one who protects the flock, and that requires an eye for detail. Because when safety and well-being are on the line, it's the details that can save lives. Even when no one else is watching, you see everything. Grainger gets you, and we're here for you, and all the ones who get it done with a wide range of safety products and solutions, plus board-certified safety consultants here to answer your questions. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Men, if you're struggling with erectile dysfunction or PE and frustrated taking pills that don't work, Prime Men's Medical Center offers breakthrough medical treatments that effectively treat your problem. 98% of patients experience immediate results during their first office visit. And for a limited time, your initial consultation and first treatment are completely free. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Rubinski. The physicians at Prime Men's Medical Center offer the most advanced treatments that eliminate ED and PE. Now men are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history.
Guys, to eliminate your frustration in the bedroom, call Prime Men's Medical Center now to take advantage of this exclusive limited-time offer. Your initial consultation and first treatment are totally free, and you'll see instant results right in the office. Call now, 904-664-8214. 904-664-8214. That's 904-664-8214.
October is birthday month for Zero Res. To celebrate, just say happy birthday, Zero Res, and we will give you up to $75 off your cleaning. That's our birthday gift to you. Some minimums apply, so give us a call. Zero Res, spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Ready to hit the road this fall? Maybe a trip to the mountains or over the river to Grandma's? Then listen up, because you need to rent a Toyota from Arlington Toyota. If you've tried to rent lately, then you know rental companies are short on inventory, but not our friends over at Arlington Toyota Rent-A-Car. Arlington has 2022 and 2023 models in stock and ready to rent at a great price. Plus, renting a Toyota is the best way to try it before you buy it. Go to arlingtontoyota.com, reserve your rental, and discover just how good Toyota Rent-A-Car can be.
A lot of things to do in the next couple of minutes, but we will get through them. Overtime, Kurtz and Middleton. Middleton is Brian. Brian Middleton, the broadcast on the ones and twos. Casey Kurtz with you as well, each and every day on OT. And the NBA is back. And there's one person who's very excited, and that's Brian Middleton. Well, there's more than one.
I was about to say, that's a...
Well, I know you're very excited. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still got baseball going, right? So, and that's like the NBA fan that I am. Like, I still got baseball, so I'll catch up with the NBA type situation. But, it feels like, does it always feel like the off seasons just keep getting shorter, except for football? Like, I feel like NBA just ended.
It did
and then
fly.
football, I'm like, it's only June 11th.
But you want to know why? Because when it ended.
Because we got football.
Yeah, that's what
Right.
happened. Then in July hit, kind of getting some OTAs, and then August hit, and now you got preseason, and now it's like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, NBA, yeah, that's right. Came back. So, yeah, it does seem like it's getting shorter for a lot of these offseason. I said that yesterday, too, Casey, when you told me the NHL's been playing.
Yeah.
They've been playing. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right. They do start. Okay.
Yeah, Lightning got the Flyers tonight, the Philadelphia Flyers, so I'll be watching that one when I get out of here, Brian Middleton. But you know what? Why not? It's day one for the NBA. Most of the games start tomorrow, but a couple games tonight. Let's make some predictions for the season. Eastern Conference, Western Conference, Brian Middleton, who is going to meet in the NBA Finals this year? Because I already know, but I want you to be wrong before I tell you.
Well, listen, with preseason predictions, what you have to say is this. You get not a mulligan, but you get the right to change your mind probably around the halfway season, because a big-time trade can occur, a big-time injury can occur. You feel what I'm saying?
I do.
So going off of the rosters right now and how everything looks, I will say, I think that attitudes in check. We're looking at a Memphis.
Memphis.
We're looking at a Memphis. And I hate to say it with my Heat. I just don't know how they can get past a healthy Milwaukee team. They can take them to 7. I think we're looking at Memphis and Milwaukee, because Giannis is that dude. And I love Miami to death, and I think they can make it back to the Eastern Conference Finals. And, my thoughts may change on it. Right now I'm going with Memphis, the upstarts, another year older, Casey Kurtz, another year stronger. And maybe if they can keep those emotions in check, they can give it to the Warriors. They can give it to Golden State and down the court. So that's what I'm going to go with for the preseason.
The regular season starts, so it's.
I mean, prior to the season starting, that wasn't right.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
I got one for you. It's going to be a little bit controversial, but trust me, I feel good about it. Out of the East, how about the Cleveland Cavaliers? I liked Cleveland last year. I like what Cleveland did. Didn't work out in the playoffs, so they say, you know what? We got to get better. Donovan Mitchell. Well, they got better. Yeah, straight up. I like what Cleveland's doing. I like what they have. Evan Mobley, another year older. To your point with Memphis, those guys are another year older. Evan Mobley, still figuring it out. So, yeah, I like the Cleveland Cavaliers Messed it up twice.
They're a fun team.
They're fun, right? It's a fun pick. This was the one I'm sure about. Out of the West, no doubt in my mind. Write it down. Book it now. There's no way, there is no possibility that any other team reaches the NBA Finals out of the West. And that is the Los Angeles Clippers. LeBron had a great year as a player. Give me the Clippers. Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, healthy, okay. Do not sleep on John Wall. I feel strongly about that.
Bill Belichick your ass out of the stadium because he's sorry as hell.
Felt right.
Watch this. The Clippers win it all, too. Book it.
Okay, I got more drops. I'm not going to do it, though. It's fine, Casey. All right, what do we got coming up?
Who you got winning it quickly out of your finals?
Oh, who do I have winning out of my final? Oh, Milwaukee.
You got Milwaukee. I got the Clippers. Fair enough. But the Clippers are the ones that will win it. I feel really good about the Clippers. Anyway, Brian Middleton, can you cue up Fat Joe, please? Because we need to check the ticket prices right now.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
If you're an OG on this program, you understand the ticket prices. It was here for a very long time. We were checking the NBA ticket prices in the playoffs. We were checking the NHL ticket prices. I don't know what happened to it. We started adding all kinds of things, doing all kinds of things. We forgot about the ticket prices. We forgot about what got us to this point in our careers, and we're back. Yesterday's price is not today's price. Thank you, Fat Joe. We now check the ticket prices for the NLCS Game 1. The Philadelphia Phillies in San Diego, taking on the Padres, two teams that haven't been in it in a hot little minute. Brian Middleton, here's what I can do for you. How you feel about standing for 9 innings?
Right, let's go.
If you want to stand for 9 innings, I can get you into Petco Park.
All right.
For $142.
Boy,
can't do it.
That's a car insurance bill. What's wrong with you?
Now, if you want to sit, the best I can do is $158.
Can't do it.
And to be honest, either way, you're very far away from home plate. So, fans are diehard. That's all I'm saying. Let's go to the NBA.
Okay.
It's opening night. Let's start with this one. The Philadelphia 76ers, the Fighting Justin Kuzarts, will travel to Boston and take on the Celtics with no head coach. I don't know if you heard about that, but that was a disaster. If you want to sit, Brian Middleton, the best I can do, 314 is the section. Row 15 is the row.
Okay.
$151.
Oh, hell no.
Oh, it gets worse.
Okay.
Golden State, the defending champs. Will they raise a banner? I don't know. But LeBron James and the AARP Lakers are in town tonight. Will Draymond punch anybody? I don't know. Is Jordan Poole recovered? I don't know. But now he's rich. Here's what I do know. You need Jordan Poole's paycheck to get in. Because if you want to sit, it's $251 for opening night in Golden State. Holy cow. And where you're sitting on this map, you will not see the court or the players at all. You won't know who LeBron James is or even if he's on the floor. And I know you don't want to see Russell Westbrook. That's it for us tonight. Overtime, Kurtz and Middleton. We appreciate you being here. Have a good night. We'll talk to you again tomorrow. I want to eat a spicy chicken in my Tesla. Is it too much to ask?
Anywhere fans go to cheer on their team, they're about